Hello, welcome to episode 4 of Pinnacles on Happy Jacks RPG. My name is Jason. I am your guide for this game, and we have some shenanigans going on. We've gone to a lodge in the woods.
Looking for some R&R.
Let's find out who's playing. I'm gonna go this time. This time way.
This time, way time. I'm Enge, and I'm playing Chainsaw, the brawling biker.
Hi everybody, I'm Joe, and I play Brian with an H. Brian with an H.
Yep.
2 N's, 2 Y's, but it's not where you think.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Sarah, and I'm playing Kit, the biokineticist.
Hi, I am Pooja, and I am playing Sapna, the absolutely always listening at yes.
Yep. Awesome.
The unescapable.
Yeah, Sarah, I don't want to assume that you're always our recapper, but would you like to recap again?
Oh boy. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, okay. Open. Hospital. We're all leaving it. It's the action has concluded at the hospital, y'all. We're done. We went to Denny's and we had a really nice time. And everyone's skin was put back together correctly. It was great. Then we had a little bit of break time before we went into the lodge to meet Greenstreak, which we all decided that we were going to go on Monday instead of directly after leaving the hospital. We had a couple of conversations. Kit and Sapna had a conversation where they sat and they drank coffee, and both of them were totally cool and fine. As they said to each other, very believably.
Yep.
And both of them believed each other completely.
For sure.
It was great.
Of course, we all know the acronym for FINE is
Yes.
feeling intense negative feelings.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I love that.
Or negative emotions, there you go.
I like Finf better, honestly.
Finf.
And
I like-
I'm going to start using it.
I like saying feelings, but it's still fine.
Yes, yes. And then Kit and Brian had a bit of a conversation as well, where Kit revealed that there were maybe some not fine feelings, and they were feeling some anxiety about being good at everything. And they wanted Brian's help. Brian agreed to help. In the course of this conversation, we learned some very interesting facts, including Brian doesn't remember a lot of his life, and also doesn't remember that he has a family, which was a very cool and fine fact that I learned, and I felt nothing inside when I found it out. We all had some pretty funky dreams. Do we all want to recount those personally? I feel like that's...
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Also, I want to mention, I did go back and listen, and I did not say nightmares. I said recurring dream.
That was us, the players.
That was the
I feel
problem.
like
was our
mine was just
projection,
a little
yeah.
weird, you know? I don't feel like mine was like a nightmare. It was just like, oh, I went
Yeah,
to
mine
school
was
and my
perfectly
underwear
fine.
wasn't on,
Listen,
you know?
when a GM asks for dreams, you give nightmares.
It's the rules.
It was like, oh, if you're going to have a recurring dream, it's either going to be a nightmare or it's going to be not safe for work.
True.
I mean, we don't have to be not safe for work here.
It's
That's
like my philosophy about writing. Always lead with trauma.
all right, Pooja, what was Sapna's dream?
Sapna was dreaming about, kind of, but not really murdering someone, but also that person, like, somehow becoming Kit, and Kit dying instead of being saved, and, just your basic, like, let's process. Hindbrain processes stressful situation.
Uh-huh.
Dreams are good for processing. They're important.
Yeah.
My recurring dreams all have to do with elevators. But Kit's recurring dream is that they were in the middle of an operation. Something went wrong that led to them getting injured, and while they healed themselves, something went wrong while they were healing themselves, and they started growing extra digits or limbs, etc. We're not able to stop this process enough in order to save the patient that they were working on, and they got fired.
Don't ask for kids' digits because you might get them.
And the nightmare is that you lost your job and
Yeah.
That was the, like, crux of the nightmare.
I've made such a creature.
Love it. Love it.
So human, too.
Joe?
Brian had a recurring dream of seeing Tony's torpedoes in ruin and smoke and fire, and Tony standing with his back facing Brian, just saying, "Where were you?"
And we haven't met Tony.
No.
Right?
But we did see a frame photo of that said in loving memory.
Oh,
And
that's
it's-
right. So as far as we've been led to believe Tony is deceased.
Yeah, it's a
and-
picture of Tony standing in front of the old Tony's torpedoes.
Yeah. Okay. Chainsaw.
Chainsaw had a recurring dream that has haunted him for a long, long time, which is being in the aftermath of a big fight, and all of his friends are dead around him, and he's the only one alive. But the faces were different this time. They weren't old friends; they were new friends.
Hooray!
This is a very well-adjusted group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He woke up and went, "Ugh, what a great night.
Good sleep. Good sleep.
Good sleep, everybody. High five."
Yeah.
And then I believe, I was going to say, and then we all went to the lodge, but that's not true.
Nope.
Brian got a cell phone.
Brian got a cell phone.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's really the highlight of what happened, right?
Highlight.
Kit?
And then Kit, while having a very hot and sexy run outside, had a very non-hot and sexy situation happen to them.
It was hot.
It was hot.
There was fire involved.
Maybe too hot. They heard someone dying. Heard is a hard word for it, but they heard someone dying, ran to the scene and healed the person, and then she got a lot more powerful after Kit saw something weird inside of her and investigated and maybe poked something that they shouldn't have. And that has been something that they're thinking about. The fact that they may have discovered where powers come from and also how to make them more powerful, which...
Yeah.
So from the narrator's point of view, it would be hard to say Kit doesn't know where powers come from.
Right.
Like, because, and nobody does, but like for Kit, you poked it
Yeah.
and it made fire come out.
Oh, yeah. So Kit fully knows, gets it at this point.
Now, whether you actually amped up her powers or it was just a weird day for her or you gave birth to a villain.
And that's what I'm choosing to believe Kit thinks. Kit is, because Kit is a scientist. So Kit's like, maybe I did something, but it might just be I've never healed someone up to full like that before. So maybe
Right.
it's just somebody getting extra healed. And
could be
then
I'm
it
sure it
happens.
was. I'm sure it was the car crash.
I think it was the car.
Too many contracts.
Traumatic events.
Traumatic events.
And
Right.
you can lift a car sometimes when you're in a lot of stress. Who knows?
It's fine. It's fine.
Maybe,
Everything's fine.
like, maybe one of the other many things that you healed inside of her body when you did the uber healing. Like, it could have been that there was always something acting as a dampener on
Maybe
her powers.
it was all the plaque
Yes.
that caused the heart
it was
attack.
all the plaque. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you had determined it was a massive heart attack.
Yes, it was a massive heart
It was
attack
not
that
like
Kit
a
healed.
minor thing.
No, it was very intense. So Kit has that knowledge rattling around in their head right now. Has not decided what to do with it yet, just to let y'all know.
Yeah.
And with that, was there anything else that happened before we headed to the lodge? No?
Airplane and
I don't
truck
think so.
noises make Brian happy.
Sure,
Yes,
yeah.
plane and truck noises make Brian happy.
Oh, that's right.
So,
the tacos.
Almost
That was later, though.
just right after that. We
That was
went
at
to
the lodge.
Yeah, we
Had
went
a
to the
very
lodge. We had a
exciting-
nice drive.
Yeah.
In which they talked about how nobody has discovered where powers came from
Yeah,
yet,
the
which is
newscaster was
interesting.
cut off in the middle of a very interesting report that's been given 20 times now.
Fuck NPR. No,
No.
Wow.
Thank you, NPR, for everything you do.
If you listen to what Sarah just said, you are required to go donate to NPR right now. Ideally, your local affiliate or NPR itself.
Yes, yes. I grew up
For
on
that,
PBS.
for that war crime
we
that
love
Sarah
public
just committed.
service. And we headed to the lodge. It was big and huge and very cool looking. And as we explored all of it, there were a lot of interesting things that happened. We checked out, we met Chef, who can create any food, which is wild. We went to the training area where we just checked everything out, and we met another powered person whose name is escaping me right now.
A multiple person.
Yes, a multiple person.
Klaus.
Very cool.
The multi-masseuse.
Yes, and Brian
my
and
notes.
Kit got a massage
Multi-Klaus.
from Klaus.
Multi-Klaus.
While Sapna scouted out the area to see if there was any unhappy employees or anything that could be pilfered as a result of unhappy employees, finding out that Green Streak's employees are actually very happy and well compensated. And what you gonna do? Sorry.
Not a villain.
Fantasy
While
world.
Chainsaw was out having a nice little fishing adventure, who emerged from mowing the lawn but an old friend? In fact, the manager
friend of mine.
of
I don't
his
know that guy.
old super group who tried to approach him, and he brushed him off multiple times. Chainsaw.
Did anyone jot down the name?
Yes. It's at home.
Cool.
Mr. It's at
I
home.
was like, oh, I'm just going to bring my bag of dice.
Yeah, this will be
Forgot
fine.
my
Was
whole
it
thing.
Sal?
No,
Sure.
Sal's the person who froze the lake.
Oh, right.
I do
Oh,
have
right.
it written down. I just
Is it an Italian fella?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hang on, we'll find it by the time the
Sure.
summary finishes, which is that after that, I believe Green Streak arrived, and
And you got a text from Doreen.
I got a text from the person who had the heart attack, who did confirm that her powers had gotten more powerful.
She is a 5 now. Is
Yeah.
what she
Category
was
5.
Category
implying.
5.
Yeah.
And then Green Streak came, and we're waiting on what's gonna happen there.
Yep.
With
damn it, I have the
his
cook
manager, who we
Doreen.
didn't decide if that guy flew and met us there or.
Yeah, I know there was an extensive thought process on that on screen, which was painful to re-listen to. So we'll leave it as a question mark.
Love
we don't
that.
know.
The ways
okay.
of Pinnacles are not ours to understand.
Why don't we just retcon a name for
Sure. Yeah.
Manager Man?
Yeah. Any sort of New Jersey Italian.
Yeah, I mean. Vinny
Danny,
is-
James, Vic, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Danny.
Danny. All right.
Mhm.
Danny. Dan the man.
I grew up very near New Jersey. I had a lot of Italian friends.
I'm gonna go Dan the
Lot of
Man.
names.
Is how he's generally thought of. What did I say? His power was like empathize like human lie detector. I kind of like it that Dan the Man is like reads people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So he's great at negotiating,
Dan the purple people
which I
reader.
just made it harder on Chainsaw. Yeah.
Love that.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do today, however, is a quick flashback to 2004. It is almost a year after everyone got powers, and Enge, also known as Alpha Patriot, for our audience, that cat is out of the bag.
Right.
The government, the U.S. government, was trying to put together whatever kind of response they could to sort of meet these wild and woolly threats that were popping up all over the place. And I want to know.
In my mind, there were a lot of like super groups kind of popping up here and there, a lot of like amateur super groups stopping crime and all that sort
Yeah.
of thing. Because there were also a lot of people abusing their powers.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
And
neighborhood bullshit going
yeah,
on.
and so we got like kind of handpicked from all over to be stationed in New York, but also kind of go everywhere, and we became famous, and there was always like, pictures of us.
Yeah. I also am imagining that at least this first government group is made up of people who already had some level of clearance, like maybe you were a highly ranked IRS agent or whatever it was you were in the government, like you had some level of the government knows who you are. And you also were somebody who like went to the gym and practiced boxing or what, like didn't necessarily have to be like a soldier background or something. What could you imagine? What was Frank's background before even being Alpha Patriot or before powers?
Pre-powers, Frank came from a very working class background. I was thinking about this literally on the way over, and I'm like, everybody and everything that I write is like, you're an artist, a mechanic, or like in accounting. Like that's the three professions that
I mean,
Those are the
IRS
only
is
three
this-
professions
Those are
that
the
exist.
primary careers. So
mechanic.
Yeah.
out of those are derived all other fields.
Yeah. I think he was a mechanic, but he would have like maybe worked in a motor pool. like maybe in a government motor pool.
Oh
or
yeah, it
something.
was like had some clearance to work on government vehicles and whatnot, and that's where and then it turned out that he had powers and had reported it and talked about that. Yeah, okay.
True believer.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, then for the last 6 months or so, you and the Omega Sentinels have been deployed to kind of shore up threats, support local communities, and whatever it is they're trying to clean up. And today you find yourself in a noisy, I forget, is it like a C-130, that plane that like they drop troops out of?
C-130.
Yeah. So there's that, that noisy background. You and your team are there, and you have a Phil Coulson type sitting with a folio that he has open, and he's kind of looking over the details. And he says, "Okay, Frank," and I mean it's like Alpha Patriot. It's the like splash graphic that pops up.
Yeah. In my mind, there were like posters of us, like the new kids on the block.
Oh yeah. No, there are like on the back of your Agent Coulson. There's like a sticker. This is his Trapper Keeper.
Oh, he's such a fan.
And the whole team has like recently had a bonding experience because we all went out and got matching tattoos.
Okay, cool. What is the tattoo?
It's an Omega symbol.
Oh yeah, is that the horseshoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
like a world in the middle of it.
Oh,
So like
okay.
almost like it's a shield.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
I feel fine.
Yeah, nothing wrong here.
Nope.
All right, so Frank, team, we are about to drop you in to Detroit. As you know, the Mechanist has been causing a lot of problems. We finally narrowed down which factories he's operating out of, and we have got to put this robot rebellion down. This is not going to work. And for the background, we all know these are not like robots that are people, right? It's just this guy can control machines and is like just causing mayhem. So they are asking you to drop in and take care of that.
I mean, obviously, they've asked us because we're awesome.
Yes.
Like, high five.
Yes. So
Gotta get down there. We're gonna get them.
are you first out of the plane or last out of the plane?
First out of the plane. I'm
Okay.
Alpha.
I mean, I guess you don't even really need a chute,
Nope.
right? You just like
You just jump out of the plane without a chute. Yep.
shoots it for wimps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, Omega Sentinels, let's do this. And I'm like 25.
Yeah.
Oh, a baby.
Yep. Awesome. Now,
Perfectly clean shaven, high and tight, haircut, just all American.
okay.
Big star in the middle, red, white, and blue suit
Oh,
with like
no.
a blue stripe, red down the top, red in here,
good.
like all that stuff.
So good.
Yeah.
Now the rest of the team doesn't have to be as patriotic.
No. That's
But-
just my deal.
I've arranged a surprise for you, Enge.
Ooh.
Airgun. What does your outfit look like?
Aragon is just what his buddies call him, but his operator name is Sigma Scope.
Sigma Scope.
Sigma
Okay.
Scope, and he's wearing tactical all black balaclava. He's got a really cool, like, looks like a night vision goggles apparatus, but it's got different like lenses that can swap out.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
And he's just running right after Alpha Patriot. And
Also, no need for a shoot.
he's got a shoot on.
Okay.
Yeah. But he gleefully runs out and kind of Christ pose, like just falls over backwards, and he's yelling, "Cowabunga!"
Nice. It is 2004 after all.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
The popularized shout phrase. And did you have a name for the? Elastigirl is copyrighted.
Can't do last. Well, this is Gamma Girl, and
Gamma
she
Girl.
doesn't like it, but she's Gamma Girl. And she is wearing because this is the real world and also right after superheroes have been created. So there's not high-tech stretchy material. She is wearing just a sports bra and hot pants, and they're the stretchiest thing that they can possibly be.
Then your arms and legs can go as far
Exactly,
as you
so
want.
they can just go all over.
Love it.
And she's
It's okay.
like, got-
Advertising loves it.
Exactly,
This is
exactly.
great for the posters.
Exactly. She's got a short, like, bob style haircut and says, "All right, guess we're not going for stealth," and jumps out and becomes a parachute
Yeah.
when they get the appropriate amount of. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And Pooja?
Kosh is
It's good.
a
Is
middle-aged
it Kappa Kosh?
a middle-aged Indian woman who, like, you know, dresses like an auntie. She's
that.
got in deference to the fact that they're about to jump off a plane, she has tucked her Zawar, like, into...
Nice.
Imagining like the half moon glasses with a little chain.
And then is like, I swear, don't forget to clip your secondary harness.
Yeah, you're just like giving everyone advice before they jump out. Of
Yes.
Like, yeah,
Double
Okay.
check your shoots.
you all better be wearing clean underwear.
Underwear. Dance belt.
Sure.
You don't want
Sure.
awkward bulges.
Yeah.
And then weirdly also, like, in addition to her whole parachute, like, setup, she's got an extra bag that, if you look really closely, is just full of, like, random ass shit.
Okay. Cool.
Like snacks.
Oh, good. Like snacks and wet wipes and, yeah.
and then
Trail
like
mix.
in a separate compartment there's also like a set of seeds and some weird other like
Ah.
oh, okay, whatever.
We
Cool.
all secretly call her Omega Mom.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Great. Okay. So the group drops in, and immediately you're under fire, right? Like there's like artillery fire, which you can pretty much like dive towards and like bap, just like slap it out of the.
Well, I have
explode.
my my kind of shield thing in
Yeah.
front of me. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like slapping artillery, like making a lane for everyone to like fall into and skydive through.
little wings underneath my arms so I can
Sure.
maneuverate.
Hell
Like a
yeah.
squirrel suit
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But smaller and cooler.
Yeah. Of course.
God,
But with a long bushy tail.
sorry. Just understood what you said. When you asked me about Kappa, I thought you were making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference,
Oh.
and I was really confused.
Greek letters, baby.
No, it's
But
Greek
you meant
letter.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
So yes, like Kappa.
Kapakash. Yeah.
So
Amazing.
confused.
That's great. I love that. Okay, so we land on the top of this building. There are like a couple of these anti-air batteries still up and about. Alpha Patriot, you're down first. What are you going to do with this first anti-air thing? Because you don't want your plane to get shot down. You got a Phil Coulson up there.
I'm gonna direct myself right to it and cannonball.
Cannonball.
Boom! Straight into it.
Yep. All right. Yeah. It explodes. The ammo explodes, blows a hole in the roof. You go through the roof. That's fine. I think you were next.
Yep.
Scope.
Yep.
What do you want to do about this other? There's another anti-air gun on the roof.
Okay. Just very, very rapidly shifting through lenses. I'm like zooming in and getting the like, oh, I see it. And then he's gonna put in some earbuds, and the sickness starts playing.
Yeah.
Oh, wah! And then he's like miming, putting together a very intricate like sniper rifle in the air, but it's like there's nothing there. He's
just
holding
like
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like he like steadies himself, and he's still like parachuting down, activates the parachute, and he waits, and then he like makes a motion to like cock back the barrel and shoot, and a projectile fires out of nothing towards the barrel of the anti-air.
Great.
That's good.
Love
Great.
it.
So a projectile generator with the requirement of must mime what
Yeah.
would shoot the projectile.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
to create it like somatically.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Somatic components.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So yeah, that one also blam creates a big hole in the roof that you don't have to fall through if you don't want to. But the we have a bunch of robots swarming out that are like rattier versions of the multiple Ultrons at the end of Second Avengers.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of Ultron. So not like Ultron, right? But those like ratty sort of skeletal ones that are they're all coming out. So, and all of them are clearly formed by like they look like, oh, this robot was made from a Chevelle, right? This robot was made from a Toyota, right? Like they're clearly this like kind of cobbled together kind of thing, but he has repurposed the car building machines to make these robots, but they had to use the materials that were at hand. And so that's what you're
kinda cool.
up
Love
against.
that.
So this swarm is coming out of the building. Gamma Girl, what's your approach here?
I think as we get closer to the ground, Gamma Girl will reorient from a parachute, stretch out both arms to wrap around two of the robots on the ground, and then use that to propel herself down and put both feet directly into a robot's face.
Sure.
And that like speed that comes from falling
Yeah.
and also pulling yourself down.
Sure. Okay.
Ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you trying to go through the hole as well or fight robots on the roof?
I think she is taking robots, pulling them forward into the hole, and then kicking down into robots that are inside the building.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And Kappa, not mom, Kappa Kosh.
Oh, wow. I'm okay with that too. It's so funny. As she goes down and she sees what's going on, and that there are more robots coming around kind of the side, you see like spears of earth and stone start to impale robots from behind.
Yeah.
And
Does it work on concrete as well?
yes,
Oh,
and then
nice.
like there's a like the areas between the robots and where like my people are landing becomes kind of like this like crater opens up
Oh, yeah. Okay.
to moats. Moats are a good thing.
Yeah.
Love a moat.
Yeah.
Talk to you about the history of moats for some time, and we
And
really need
has.
to
And
Oh my God. So
History
much
buff.
moat talk.
history buff. But only the really, really weird, obscure, boring parts.
All right. So the fight continues. We have, a whole montage of just blasting through robots, ripping them apart, trying to figure out like where is
Scope.
this guy?
Can you detect where the energy signature's coming from?
Oh yeah! Here we go.
Get it, brother!
So amped. Okay.
Yeah. Flip through my sensors and scopes and see where what was it you were wanting to find out?
High energy source.
Okay, so like energy readings, where's it coming from? Yeah, let's start doing that.
So yeah, trying to find the thing that is powering all of these bots.
Sure. Yeah. So the bots are sort of have their own power, but they don't have their own brain,
Right.
right? So they're getting their orders, and it's if you watch the pattern of their movement, you could start to center in on where they are in the factory. And
Maybe one of his little eyeglass things might be able to find heat source or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. That's pretty doable. But scope in the midst of you've pretty sure you've got a good lead on who this is. Like there's a good hot spot there. It's not a rat. Got a pretty good idea. The part of the government program that you went through was, and if you don't mind, Scope, I think you had like a more traditional military
Oh yeah,
background.
yeah.
That's how you know all those
He was a
guns.
marksman.
Yeah. There were a few people pulled from that background that didn't make it to this team either because they didn't fit the profile or they didn't have the right attitude to be sort of publicly recognized. But you hear the voice of one of the people you went through school with, this guy who was just interminable, and like you understand why he didn't make the team because he's just a jackass to everyone.
Yikes.
But like was going to be the best. Called One Shot, and he is in your ear and says, "Mark the target for me." And audience would recognize this voice as the same voice that Sapna picked up the phone to and told Sapna to smile.
The same voice as 2 times?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Is One Shot like part of our team? Like, are they a handler or?
They are part of the team. The rest of the team doesn't know that One Shot shadows the missions.
Oh.
Yikes.
And doesn't usually get involved if they don't have to. If he doesn't have to.
Okay.
But apparently he's been given the order, like he's telling you to mark the target.
So he's
for him.
commanding officer in this situation.
It's higher ranked than
Higher
you.
rank. So he has like okay. Got it.
The Coulson character is your commanding officer.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. I mean I could take the shot. I can make the shot.
They want me to do it.
Okay. Do the others know? Is this a
Just do your job, soldier.
Okay. Yep. Marking it.
And Alpha Patriot, you have this moment of like seeing Sigma Scope hesitate.
Ooh.
Right? Something's happening. Like you're saying, "Oh, Scope, get it," and Scope's like, "Oh, I think I've got him," and then
Take
there's
the shot.
hesitation.
I'm dismantling a bazooka. I was starting to set up.
Right. Now you're constructing like a laser targeting system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Hold on, I'm manufacturing the chips.
Yep.
Like grinding the lenses. No, that's fine. Okay, so
Painting the target, sir.
all right, and that part, I think you're close. You're like trying to check in and see what he's up to, and you hear painting the target.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your call, or what? How do you feel about that? You don't know who he's talking to because he's not coming over your radio.
Scope. Ping, kang. What's going on?
Change of plans, I guess. I'm painting the target.
Is there a problem over the as well?
This robot gets flung
Yeah.
with an extra long arm. Like, yeah.
Who's our Coulson character?
Cole Filson.
Cole Filson.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm writing that down.
Me too.
Son of Phil.
Cole, and we all take a break to write the new name down.
Yes. Cole Wilson.
Okay. I'm just following orders, Alpha. You got questions? Ask Filson.
Filson, what's going on? We need that shot now.
It's over my head. Just do your job. And Filson sounds like defeated.
Fuck it. I'll do it myself. I'm going to go through a wall, whatever I have to do to get to wherever the center is.
Okay. So if you'll allow me, you're painting the target.
Yep.
There's just all mayhem breaking loose. The fight is just sheer chaos. But the target's painted, and you hear, "Hold steady, hold steady." Sorry, I should for our audience, Brian, not Brian.
Who's
Scope.
Brian?
Scope. You're hearing that One Shot character saying, "All right, steady, steady. All right, I've got it." And you realize, like, it's just all happens at once, right? He takes the shot as Alpha Patriot is diving into the scenario, and now, fortunately, Alpha Patriot, you get hit in the back with this sniper round, which I think is painful, but not like it doesn't really damage. You're not injured. It's just shock damage.
Yeah.
I'd have to totally
Blast it to the ground. We'll just narrate it.
Yeah. So yeah, you get. I think you like tackle the mechanist
Mhm.
and basically like save the mechanist, right?
Oh.
Not meaning to, right? You were like trying to tackle the mechanist and like take him out, but you end up taking the shot for him and just get the wind knocked out of you. That's even better.
There you go.
And you get like you plow into the floor and the mechanist just like reaches out and like rebuilds his like Iron Man suit basically like into like a mech essentially, like more like Hulkbuster
Right.
size, right? And just like kicks you out of the way and goes like storming and jumps down below the street level. And One Shot is just cussing like, no shot. And there's just like the robots all get taken out, but there's just this air like, Alpha, you managed to eventually catch your breath. And you try to figure out what happened. Like you couldn't even really see where the mechanist ran to because you were so out of it at the time. It's only a few seconds, but it's
all he
enough
needed.
time that he, could like build the suit and like jet out of there into the sewers, which I assume Detroit has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They do in this world.
Yeah. Every superhero world
In
has
this timeline, they have
Teenage
that.
Mutant Ninja Turtle style sewers in any major
Well, that's
city.
where the
Yes.
mole men have their city.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to leave it there. I want to leave it there. That's not necessarily the moment that you left, but it was a moment of the government interference, playing multiple games at once and not supporting you guys the way you should have been supported. And I don't know what happened to the rest of these characters yet, but
I do.
okay. Well, the audience doesn't, and we'll just leave it there. Okay. Thanks everybody for jumping in and doing that.
That was awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Fun.
They'll have a spin-off.
I love playing super characters.
Yeah.
I love like random mooks.
Yeah.
Like, just I have to share. Kabakash got pulled from the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
This is why she is who she is.
Nice.
Yes. Love it.
Good.
Yeah. Awesome. We'll see if we see more of those characters at some point, but
We absolutely should.
I'd be down. I love that.
all right. So the lodge.
I'm storming off to my motorcycle.
Okay.
I thought we were all in the office with.
Yeah, I think
we?
we were in like we had heard
Green
the chime
Streak,
that
yeah.
Green
Oh,
Streak was
right.
back and we
Yeah.
were gonna meet him in his office.
Last I remember, I was like denying I knew somebody and like,
Well, yeah, I think Danny like just drove off when you like snubbed him. He was like, "Okay, man, you want to play it like that?" And he just left. So, and then the chime went off that you were supposed to come in. So,
I'm like taking Dallas, my my motorcycle, off of like getting ready to do it, and bing bong. Oh, shit. Slap it on the gas tank and then head inside.
yeah, okay. So you all find Green Streak in. I think just because it's fun. And also he's hot.
Yeah.
Is like sitting on the front of his big desk, like just kind of leaning, one leg crossed, but in full length, just this like 6 foot tall, like perfect specimen of an athletic human being, right? And his manager / assistant, whatever, is sitting at the desk, which I guess is fine. And the assistant, I don't know if we got into that already. I don't think so.
I don't think we got their name.
No. Let's go with, I was picturing like a Ruby Rose type. And
Got compared to Ruby Rose one time, and I thought I was going to pass away and go to heaven.
oh yeah, all right.
I can see it.
That is awesome.
Achievement unlocked.
Yes.
We'll say this this person is called we'll Well, we'll switch the letters around and call them Ruby Rose. No. No. I want
yeah.
something better. Well, actually, we'll say their name is Rose. Rose uses they, them. And then we'll figure out from there. Yeah. I don't know.
Rose Thorn.
Yeah.
With an
Obviously.
E.
Yes, of course.
Well, now it is. This is what happens when you say things out loud.
That's right.
Rose Thorn with an E. But not where you think.
Exactly where you think.
Tehorn.
Thorn.
All right, so Rose is Green Streak's assistant / manager / like, and they're also like kind of famously best friends, right? So
Tight.
they are also just like they grew up together, and it's the whole thing. It's like such a great PR story, like everybody loves that about them. Rose is not, doesn't, I don't know what, we'll figure out what their power
So
is,
Rose
but-
was also from Green Lake, then.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. And I think Rose is a little bit older, maybe 10 years older, was probably in the skating program as well, but like ready to get out. Was kind of like only doing it because mom made them do it. And then, there was just, ugh. So
Maybe
yeah.
kind of had hit that point where it's like, I'm really not going to get any further in
Yeah, I
this.
either have to go pro or quit. And like, I quit.
Yeah.
So, I think that's kind of the thing. So Rose also was able to be there for Atticus when he was like, this is really hard. I don't know if I could do this. And Rose was like, well, you got this. It's like,
My heart.
yeah,
Very good.
supportive older friend, that kind of thing. So the two of them are there in the office. It is not a like the office I want is like great big wooden desk, walls just packed with books, so high that you need a ladder.
Rolling ladder.
Yes.
Yes,
But
rolling
I
ladder.
can't make everybody's house the thing I want it to be. I'm trying to think of what Green Streak wants it to be, because they're not all me.
I mean, I do think it's a very fun little goof to have a rolly ladder that just like shing, 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 shing across the room because he's so fast,
Could be.
It has to be a mag ladder because
Yeah,
like, the
otherwise
friction
it'd go
wouldn't.
right
yeah.
off the tracks.
Yeah.
Maybe the shelves are full of skating trophies,
Yeah.
sports memorabilia instead of books.
Yeah.
And it's all glass instead of wood.
Yep.
That's great.
You just need to have a modernist kind of design aesthetic.
Okay, we'll go with that then. Thank you. See, GMs, let your players do the work. You
Yeah.
don't have to do anything.
The best.
And also, like, they will punish themselves way worse than anything you can think up. When
Yeah.
you ask them what bad thing happened, they'll say, well, I have repeating nightmares.
Yeah.
Did you guys have dreams this weekend?
Yeah, recurring nightmare. Like, I didn't say nightmares.
You're welcome.
But anyway, Green Streak is there. He's got his like goggle cowl thing is off. He wears it even though everyone knows who he is. It's just like eye protection when you're going really fast is good. So he is kind of there, just leaning against the desk, not intentionally posing. He's just very good looking. So what are you gonna do? Everything
One of those
you do with
people
the
that
pose.
whenever they stand, they're just cool and
Yeah.
hot. Yeah.
It's infuriating.
I'm going to say Kit, who fully has will remember vaguely later, but does not remember that they've technically met Green Streak now, will just
Right.
step forward and offer out a hand and be like, really good to meet you.
And you see, he's like, yeah, Atticus, we met 2 days ago. Or 3 days ago. We met last week.
Yep. Good to meet you again. I meant
Okay.
good. Yep. Hi.
The audience can read his facial expressions like, hear that they don't remember me. That's kind of sucks. Like,
Yeah.
he's a little like, oh, dang.
I suffered very major brain trauma. Sees the face and goes to
Yeah.
oh, wow. Are you okay?
Yeah, I got better.
Holy shit. Also, Green Streak never cusses in the news.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
He's like a very like kid-friendly, family-friendly figure.
Amazing. But yeah, it's we're all very happy to be here. Thank you for keeping us and hosting us. It's
Oh, well,
Very
yeah.
kind.
So, look, it's nice to see all of you again. And he addresses everybody by name, right? Remembers or has been reminded of your names at least. Who knows?
Chainsaw looks at Brian to see how he's reacting to this.
Then did you shake his hand?
No, well, we didn't
day?
get to it yet.
Oh, okay. I can't remember what happened on that day.
No, they never. Well,
you thought he was an impersonator,
yeah,
right?
right,
So you
right.
talked to
Brian
him,
did
but-
not register that he had seen the actual green.
Right. Okay. So I need to know Brian's sort
Yeah.
of temperature in this moment.
So this is a moment Brian's been rehearsing for a long time, and so he has a speech prepared.
Okay.
And he walks up
Pulls
and
it out of his-
he says he kind of clears his throat and he just makes eye contact, takes a nice even breath, and says, "Greenstreak, you have been my sole inspiration ever since I realized I was, like you, gifted with extra purpose. But what's actually happening is he's mumbling, like mouthing the words only,
I'd
and
love
he's
a
like
cut
completely
of
like.
a perception cut.
This is reality.
But
Yeah.
in Brian's mind, he's executing this speech perfectly, but he's never recited it out loud.
Right. Okay. And then the reality. Oh, what do you want to say?
I want to say that as long as Brian is sub-vocalizing, which
Yeah.
I think it feels like you are,
Yeah.
Sapna is going to realize what is going on and be like, oh shit.
Like the first three words are super quiet, and then they
Turn it up a little.
It's like let's get a little gain on that.
I
Like,
love Sapna, thank you.
okay.
good.
Okay.
The secondhand embarrassment is too much for her.
Yeah. And the green streak is like leaning in, like.
I love using your powers to avoid personal discomfort. Yeah.
I mean, what else would you use your superpowers for?
amazing.
My power is to eliminate anxiety.
My own, not
God,
anyone
what a
else.
dream.
I mean, yeah, just my own. Just my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in closing, without hyperbole, may I just simply end with, "The pleasure is mine."
Wow.
And that was like a full-on like
Yeah.
2-minute thing.
Sure. Brian, thank you. It means the world to me that you feel that way. Thank you.
I've never heard him talk like that. That's something.
Well, I'm doubly honored that you would save that for me. I try to do what I can, and it's awesome to know that it reaches people.
Brian audibly is wheezing right now.
Turn it back down.
Wheeze quietly. He says, do you want? He has like a couple couches in this. The office is like kind of a longer space. What did we say? It was like trophy cases and some books and stuff like that, right?
Like sports memorabilia.
Yeah.
Maybe
So I think,
like a little thing with glass top that has like a baseball bat in
Yeah.
it. or something
Yeah.
like that.
I love the idea that he's got like one section set out where it's like pictures of him with like his skating hero.
oh,
Like
for
Brian
sure.
Boitano skates with a little
Yeah.
picture of them together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. This also it's like a little bit of a rectangular space where the desk is at one end. There's a side door came in like the middle of the space, and then at the other end of the space there's a glass like patio door to an outdoor seating area. But there's a couple couches here that could sit like 3 people each. A little side table. Somebody's already brought in like a tray with like a coffee service and snacks and stuff. So he says, do you want to sit down? Do you want to just hang out? It's fine either way. I mean,
Great. Thanks. Sit down.
Brian, already seated, says, "Sure, I'll have a seat."
Chainsaw is visibly anxious and having a hard time sitting down or keeping still.
uh-huh. Is this related to who he just saw in the yard? Yeah, okay. Great.
Something will perch on something.
Okay,
Like looking out the window.
cool.
Kit will take notice, as they always do, of someone whose vital signs are not acting as they should.
Yeah, I think far, like 100 yards away, we see the mower in the distance. Not anywhere near.
Close up on my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So Grease gets a hardback chair and turns it around backwards.
Oh God, yes.
No.
He's gonna get real. Hold on.
So you want to be a superhero.
Well,
So you screwed up.
complicated.
So you accidentally exploded a bad guy from the inside out.
What you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
There's no evidence that actually occurred.
No, but he does just like sit on the couch, maybe between Kit and Sapna, or like you're perched on the edge, and he just like sits down next to Kit across from Brian and is Chainsaw sitting down?
Not really.
Okay, so you're
Kind
also
of like
perching.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
Leaning against a couch.
Yeah.
Well, so there is this really old comic book from before Mayday. Oh, big news.
That sounds great.
The superhero day is called Mayday.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
One, it happened in May. Two, it's I forget something about M being like Empowerment Day or something like that. But also the amount of emergencies that happened that day
Yeah.
of like, oh shit, what's happening?
Yeah.
Right?
It's big.
So officially, we're going with Mayday.
I like it.
And so he says, I forgot how I opened that.
It was an old comic book from.
Oh
before.
yeah. So this really old comic book from before Mayday, called the X-Men.
Yeah.
You're
familiar.
And by the way, in world, they're still making X-Men comics,
Oh yeah,
right? But Grease Freak maybe hasn't read them in a while.
it's a collector.
But he says, so there is, if you've read it, there's this school that the guy opens, and he's like, does this painful explanation of what the X-Men comics are about.
Love that.
Glad I brought this beer.
Yeah. It's to make old people like me feel bad. That's the whole point of that scene. But he explains, I don't have to go through it word for word, but we get like a panning sort of explanation, expository drop of that he wants to turn this compound into like a training center for heroes and particularly youth who need like additional, like their powers are destructive or dangerous in some way, and they need additional like coaching and attention and all that kind of stuff. And out here where there's not too much stuff to blow up.
Like a school
Yes.
for gifted youngsters.
Yes, exactly. That's why I liked the X-Men example. Is that's what Professor Xavier's school is called. So it's just an analogy at this point. It's not anything real, but I would like to establish the Pacific Northwest's like actual pinnacle level team. And out of character, a pinnacle level team is they might have one pinnacle. Right? I think we talked about that last time.
did,
But like that's what a pinnacle team would be, is not a team of pinnacles. So I'd like to establish that kind of team. I would like to establish it with people who are interested in working with the people who come to stay here. So not necessarily be their teachers, but coaches, guides, just helpful mentors in some way. And you all, I've heard a lot about you from different people in Green Lake. I did some research this weekend, and look, people have good things to say about you all. And I saw you work firsthand, and I just, I'm hoping you're interested in going on this journey with me. If you are, we can go run through the paces and see, like, where are you, where your power ranking is right now. Personally, I'm of the philosophy that powers can be developed and exercised and improved over time. I don't feel like I started out as a 9, but I am today. It's, and he's like being modest about it, but he's like, this is a fact about
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
right? So, I know there's some debate about that, but that's my philosophy, and I'd like to have space for either kids or young people or whoever to just get to exercise that and see what they can become when they have room to perhaps literally spread their wings.
That sounds fantastic. But will I have to leave Green Lake?
Well, I'm hoping that our team would live here most of the time. That would be the way to be the most help to the people who come to live here. It'd be like a boarding school, like Xavier's school. So ultimately, yes, that's a sacrifice, but we're very close to Seattle. We'd be able to be on call whenever we need to be. I have very good response times, by the way. When
Kit
people
gives
need
like
help.
a little like polite laugh.
Yeah.
It takes a full minute and then Brian laughs.
Oh,
During a
response
completely
time.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sapna definitely rolls for us at that point.
Yeah.
So the thing about the X-Men and Xavier's school is that these were kids who, for the most part, didn't have anywhere else to go. They didn't have families, all of that.
Right.
We're in a really different situation
Yes.
here. So let me throw something by you. That rather than pluck a bunch of people out of the environments that they grew up in, are comfortable in, have ties to the community in, why not make it you have excellent response times? So people could come here for shorter periods of time.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to keep anyone here.
No,
who
but like
didn't
if it's a
wanna be.
boarding school versus a like
Accelerated program.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah,
also-
like a seasonal camp.
Yeah. Or like just more of a open community like in and out situation rather
Yeah.
than just people who are willing to be a part or able to be a part from whatever they're in for extended periods of time.
Yeah, and he looks back at Rose, who like has a notepad and is like kind of recording the conversation or is making notes at least, right? And they look back at Atticus and they're like, yeah, actually, this is Rose speaking, right? That was a concept we hadn't really entertained. I think that's fantastic, and we should look at that more closely. And like, if somebody does want to live here year round, they can. We originally tried to envision something in the city, but that would still mean people who don't live in Seattle have to leave their homes, and we're worried about the danger aspect of certain types of powers. So we wanted it to be a little bit safer. But if it's set up as a less permanent situation, as a, sleepaway camp or something like that, maybe that's a better fit for what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that'd be great. Not to jump the gun and think that we're all in or anything, but I do have a job that I like, so.
Right. And Atticus looks back at Rose again and they say, that is actually something we wanted to talk to you specifically about, is we don't have medical staff yet. And we were hoping that maybe when you officially finish, that you might like to come on specifically as the school's doctor or the camp's doctor.
Oh.
Because we're going to need one, probably multiple. Like you would have a staff to
Right.
organize.
Kit looks like they've been like knocked over a little bit, and just kind of gives a little nod and says, I'll think about that. Thanks. Yeah.
I think the thing about a year-round program, like we don't need to save these people from their families, but I know it helps a lot to be working on your powers day in, day out, to control them, to make them better. So I do like sleepaway camp for, some situations, but I do think that there is some making it a more immersive program would also be very helpful.
Well, I don't see, and this is Atticus Green Streak, like, I don't see why it can't be both,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We have facilities for people to stay here, whether they stay here long-term or short-term is up to them, you know, and if they see some of their friends twice a year and there's some of them who stay all year long, I don't see why that wouldn't be compatible with what we're thinking about.
Yeah.
What did you mean by your powers got stronger as you kept using them? It's just consider it. It's something I'm curious about.
Well, I mean, you know, the debate about the idea of like once you're categorized, you generally stay within that category, and that's it, and that's commonly accepted. I was not always the fastest person alive. There were people faster than me, and as I got older, as I worked on getting faster, I specifically worked at that. I got faster. I did time trials. I checked myself. I trained really hard and got better at what I could do. I got to where I could speed read. I got to where I could like, I'm trying to think of how you describe manual dexterity. I could knit really quick. No.
I mean,
Green Streak's a huge knitter.
Yeah, I mean, now he is. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. You know, it was like
Like a
just
dot matrix printer.
It was just a task he was trying to like see if he could get faster at. And then he was like, "Oh, I actually kind of like this.
You need a hobby.
This is
you know?
zen."
Yeah.
You know, like so sweater.
He's got a lot of those really hot crochet knit tops.
Oh,
kind of
for
thing.
sure. With just that, like that Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or the Chris Evans and
Yes. Yes.
Knives Out.
Yep. Okay. I'm fine. What? What were we talking about?
Just don't stand up.
Nope. So the
but basically, you want us to be camp counselors. Is what you're asking for.
teachers, coaches, you know, I think some of the younger people would probably be the counselor type. And I want us to be a crime fighting team, to, you know, use an old phrase. I want to be able to support the community as a superhero team. And I think it'd be really cool if it was a bunch of people who all cared about Seattle and Green Lake as much as I do. You know, we can do a lot of good up and down the coast. There are no nines up through British Columbia. There's that one in Alaska. And there's California, but like, who gives a fuck about California?
Everyone starts clapping and
Yeah,
cheering.
there's like 3 nines in California.
Yeah, they're covered.
But, you know, from like Portland to Juneau, there's not a lot of coverage. And then inland some as well. So, yeah.
How would we get around?
Well, we have some options, right? We could levitate something for me to tow you behind. We could come up with some kind of transport that makes sense. I don't know. You know, we might find somebody to add to the team who can do. You know, there have been a few teleporters. I don't think any of them are right for our team, but there could be something similar out there. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we're here. And I think we all do care about Green Lake and each other.
I'm gonna care about Green Lake more than I care about Green Lake in an active, like, also be there way. I'm really uninterested in protecting and supporting Green Lake by leaving to live in some, like, fucking walled off estate in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we're
No offense to Forks, I guess.
sure. No. I mean, Forks sucks. That's Atticus. It's like, no. I don't go to Forks. But also, there won't be walls.
Figurative walls.
Fine. No, I get it. We're a long ways from Seattle, I guess. I forget that sometimes. But I feel like this can be a good way to support our local community and the broader community. I mean, look, when we have people on a higher power scale, some of that can go to waste when you're just looking at a few streets, you can help more people, right? I can help more people than just the people in Green Lake. And it would be irresponsible of me not to. So that I think you all fall in that category. I'm not calling you irresponsible. I'm saying you have an opportunity to do more. And I want to provide that. And if you have feedback and ways to do it better, I'm open to that. This is a team project. I'm not a Professor X type. But, you know, I do think this is something that we could build together.
Well, I mean, what I was going to say is there's not any harm in doing the interview.
That's literally what we're doing right now, yes.
Well, I mean, the one where we like show off our powers, less the one where we're sitting around doing the talking heads. Right? No? Yes?
I don't want to end up in somebody's database somewhere. Right.
That is a good point. Are we in a database now?
I'm not one that I own.
It's like I'm willing to do like a new power test or whatever, like physical fitness test.
Mm-hmm.
Having
Presidential
flashbacks to
fitness
like
test.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sure.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
But like, I'm willing to do that as long as it's completely off the record, stays off the record.
So Rose pipes up. I've just decided what their power is. So I can normally I write stuff down so that Atticus and other staff can see it, but I have like three-dimensional virtual walkthrough memory. So it's not just like photographic memory, right? I can remember anything and everything I've ever experienced in full detail with like walking around and exploring that memory.
Just your own or other people's too?
Just mine.
All right.
Yeah. So your experience, I would remember your experience. I can't not, unless I sit out, but like we kind of need that data somehow so that we can compare and contrast and know what the team consists of. But I mean, we can leave it off the computer and just say, see Rose. This is Rose speaking, right? If that's a compromise, I just don't want you to think like, I don't want to give the impression that it won't be recorded because I can't not.
No, I appreciate you being upfront with that. And I think I'd be okay with that compromise. I'm looking around to.
I'd like to get back home, but it would be good to know where I rank.
Yeah. Okay. So you're sure you don't want to stay and be part of the team?
I belong to Green Lake, and that will never change. Unless we change how we do things here. But I will always go back to Tony's, and Tony's will always be protected. And Tony's is on the 10th Avenue block in Green Lake.
Let me ask you all, my Atticus speaking, our initial plan, our idea was inspired by the, concern for collateral damage being way out here. Does that feel overblown, unnecessary? Should we offer to support Hyperion High? And as you all know, that's the like super school in Green Lake that anyone can go to. It's not like a private school. It's just they have reinforced concrete and tougher materials.
I mean, I like the idea of this camp setup, extended or not, or whatever. I mean, I guess I have to. I did suggest it, but whatever. But no, I don't think it's overblown. I think we've all seen what happens when.
Yeah.
You said that maybe they weren't right for the team, but there are people who can teleport. Is there any way of setting up a more permanent option for that?
There may be. We're looking into some folks who are claiming some sort of super science transporter type technology. I don't know if it actually works yet, but
If there's some way we could be in more places and have to travel less, that might work.
okay.
As long as I can spend most of my time protecting Tony's.
Okay. Rose, make a note. Let's push the Dr. Light call to the top of the list and check in with him next week. Now, you guys can tell me, have any of you heard of Dr. Light?
Yep.
As long as he's on the wiki.
Oh, true. Yeah. So Dr. Light is one of the superest of super geniuses. Let's say, I wish I could do an Australian accent. No.
I know somebody who can do a really good New Zealand accent.
That's true.
Just tell me what lines you want to be getting.
Okay. There's so he's this scientist from Auckland and has like created a bunch of pretty wild scientific breakthroughs at this point, and they're all like stuff that we out of character would think about as maybe being possible at some point in the future, weird like actual quantum science stuff, not Ant-Man quantum science. So there's some like viable stuff there, but also it's superhero science, so that's fine, whatever.
Love it.
There is so just Atticus mentioning Dr. Light is not the guy's given name at birth, but is a nom de guerre. He's adopted and is an inventor, for lack of better terms. Doesn't like get out there and punch bad guys, but is intellect skyrocketed as his superpower.
Awesome.
So,
I think. Yeah, let's see if. I mean, so far, it's just been, like you said, talking heads. Might as well see what we can get out there and do.
One thing before we all agree, shake hands, and disperse. I feel a little bound to tell you that you are wrong. Sorry, about 2 times.
how do you mean?
His power doesn't work just by touch, it's range.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to make a call right now.
Oops, I made a problem.
And he like gets up and walks out of the room.
Yeah.
And Rose is like, can you tell me more about what you know about this? They've got their pen out, like.
Okay, so I was my companions were up on the roof, and I was worried about 2 times getting back up, so I tried to stop him a few times, and maybe around the 3rd or 4th time that we were locked in with each other, he retaliated.
From
But
where
he
you
was-
were at the
I
end of
was
the
in
lake.
the lake.
And by the way, Rose holds up the sheet, like flips a new page, and quickly sketches a like map accurate outline
yeah.
of the lake.
Yeah.
course.
From memory.
Yep.
And so from here at the bottom of the lake to the building up here.
Yes.
Oh,
I was
shit.
with him the entire time. I had his hand in mine. He never left. So if he could...
To be fair, I think I made him pretty angry. I don't think it's something that he likes to do unless he gets pushed.
Okay. Okay. Well, that looks like it's at least 200 yards.
Snipe people in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna make sure that goes into the documentation. That's the facility needs to know.
Where's
Yeah.
2 times being kept now?
Well, he's currently in a medically induced coma,
Where?
in downtown Seattle.
He was quite unconscious when I was easing him to his death. But if he could
He-
still do what he was doing,
Wasn't unconscious. I just wasn't letting him move.
he's not safe anywhere.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. There are some things that can dampen someone's power. It just is not always used. It's if we don't have to, we don't. No one. It shouldn't be used against someone's will. But in cases where someone's very dangerous and has exhibited a willingness to hurt people, it may have to. Yeah, that's
Someone who fires a gun into a city.
is an extreme risk. Agreed.
Kit will go into, will preface everyone like, hi, if you want to, I'm not going to say it out loud, but Kit will even preface to the people in the room, if you want to step out for this, I'm about to describe something very graphic, and then goes into very intense detail with Rose about exactly what effects were made on their body by
Okay.
2 times.
Curious
Just to
if
get that.
anyone steps out to leave the graphic conversation.
Brian walks out,
Okay.
Mhm.
To the patio or in the hallway where Green Streak went?
just in the hallway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Green Streak's walked down the hallway a little ways and is like
Mm.
speaking into the phone. He's not like whispering, he's just like having a conversation. And like, no, yes, it is confirmed, and it is like trying to like get people to do something about it.
Okay.
And how is the reception on the other side of that? Like, are they?
Oh right,
going
you
to
can
do
listen to the
something?
whole conversation. Yeah, they're like they're stumped, right? They're not recalcitrant. They're just like, wait, what are you talking? That's never been the case. How can this be? There've been multiple times where he had the opportunity to do something at range and never did, right? So that's how the conversation goes. But ultimately, they've said like, okay, we'll put measures into place. They're just like, how can this be? Is the gist of the conversation. So,
Just making sure.
yep.
Yeah. Cool. And then wraps that up and apologizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose seems pretty unaffected
Good.
by the graphic depiction and is like more interested in getting detail and like pulls out more detail of the story.
Chainsaw about halfway through goes out on the balcony
Yeah.
Yeah.
and lights up a cigar.
Okay.
Closes the door, sits down.
Lawnmower's no longer in view.
Yeah. Just kind of looks out at the lake and is just really, really fidgety.
Mm-hmm.
And really hasn't talked during this conversation.
Okay. From your view of you can now see the whole lake. I think from the inside the office, you can kind of see like one half of the lake. As you sit out on the patio, you can see the whole lake. You can see over at this other end, there's a little dock. That's probably where you were before.
Yeah.
You actually can see Chef Cook out there with like a tackle box and a fishing rod and is like kind of getting set up to
Aw.
do some fly fishing. And yeah. So just a little side note there. Okay. So, should we move things forward to like a testing scene
Yeah.
kind
Sure.
of thing? Okay.
Quickly, Brian's gonna try and sign on to the Wi-Fi network and check the webcam that he set up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just make sure everything looks okay.
Webcams coming through loud
Kid
and clear.
helping.
Yes, absolutely.
While y'all are busy, Rose, you seem like a practical person.
I like to think so.
Green Streak seems like a. I mean, that man is an idealist. We all know it.
He's an idealist. I kind of like that about him.
It's fine, but maybe you could talk to him about the benefits of having more of a covert team than people who would be out there in the spotlight. Not everybody wants to be famous.
Okay.
Just a thought.
I can see kind of the practicality of what you mean. Just so I know, in having that conversation with him, is that a make or break for you?
I don't think it's just a make or break for me.
Okay.
I think that Some people are really, really happy being out of the spot.
Okay. Well, I will bring that up with him. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
No, Brian, it's case sensitive, so the B has to be a capital.
What's the capital of B?
I'm gonna type it in.
Austin, I'm pretty sure. Very lightly, just speaking out loud from out on the thing, you just hear, "Gonna talk to you a second, Sapna." Because I know you're listening.
When my name is called. So I go out. Yeah, sure. Oh, God, these things smell so gross.
Smells like my grandpa.
I'm sorry,
Brings
your
me happy
grandpa
feelings.
smelled gross.
Yeah, fine.
Something not moralistic about anything but smoking, apparently.
I mean, it's gross. Torn on this whole thing. I mean, I don't know if it's obvious. I don't like to put down roots.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm, by the way.
I mean, with the more flexible options that they're talking about.
Yeah. Thing is I really think this could help people. But
Chainsaw, I don't want to be a superhero.
I know.
Like, I mean, Green Streak's all well and good and all that, but like, that, honestly, it's like all like happy rainbows and shining, and like I could hear crickets from like 5 miles away, and it kind of want to makes me gouge my eyes out, figuratively.
I mean, obviously.
But I brought it up to Rose. Maybe he'll be like, they seem like open to it. Maybe he will be as well if they talk to him about it. That something a little more low key, a little more hands on, but not any of the public bullshit.
Yeah. I've been a superhero,
Yeah.
and it is a bunch of bullshit. Being high profile like that brings a lot of unwanted attention. I've watched people die because of it. But I think this is good because we could help people who help other people, help them become better at their powers, help them so that if a big threat comes, they're not helpless.
Or they don't become the big threat.
Yeah.
I mean, I want this to work. I just don't have that much optimism in me, I guess. Not the way that, like, oh, we'll become a team and we'll be the face of saving the youths.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I had that in me once upon a time.
reality's a hell of a lot
And
more
I think
like,
he just
complicated.
watered it like a bean sprout. A third grade science project. Motherfucker. Gave me hope.
It's not a bad thing to have.
No, it's not. I mean, it's the most I've ever gotten attached to anybody in years. Y'all snuck up on me.
Literally shut the door in your face multiple times.
Yeah. It's kind of why I like you, though.
friends. Perfect.
So web addresses are like the addresses on mailboxes, but in this case, it's just networks of servers hosting individual websites and portals.
Oh my god, yes.
That's what this article says about the internet.
Oh.
Okay. Anything else we should cover in that? This is good
That's
stuff,
good.
by the way. I love it. Everybody take 2 XP.
I'm gonna spend this.
Great.
It's gonna happen.
Great role plays all around. You spending it right now?
No. Well, actually, I did have a question. Hey, you know that ability that I was given that has nothing in it?
Uh-huh.
Can I use experience points to put dice into that?
Yes.
Ooh.
Now you can.
Cool.
You actually do have 1 regular die in it.
Right.
But I haven't told you how much it costs. It's 2 points per die. Per
Okay.
regular die. And you can buy hard dice and wiggle dice in it if you want. Actually, no, I'm not going to let you buy those yet. You can buy regular dice.
Okay. Great. I am going to spend, and I'll just tell you once I figure out how many I'm going to spend on it.
Okay.
I don't know how to spend XP, so
Oh yeah, I'll get us I'll find all the points are spread out in different
Yeah.
parts. I'll do another sheet for that.
Okay.
All right. So let's cut to a little later in the afternoon. The sun hasn't gone down yet, but it's late afternoon, and we're out in grassy field, sort of with the lake between us and the house. And so there's the lake. There's pretty big grassy expanse, maybe a little bit longer, about as wide as a soccer field. So pretty big area with pretty thick, evergreen tree forest on one side, and you've got kind of all this room to move around. Green Streak and Atticus and Rose are there. Rose has this kind of device, looks like a half-size tablet, right? With some other, they've got a whole belt pouch of sensors and things. And they say, well, who would like to go first?
Is
Brian-
this like a device that we're familiar with?
Not really. So
Okay.
normally to get your power
Sorry.
checked, you sit in essentially something like an MRI.
Mm.
a wizard comes into town and cuts you, and if light
Yeah.
comes out,
Is that from something?
yes, that's Shadow and Bone.
Oh, right. So anybody would like to go first?
Brian will raise his hand.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
excellent. Great. So Rose says, okay, so I'm just gonna put these sensors on. Okay.
Okay.
So do you mind taking
On
your
the Never Nude.
Yeah? Do you mind taking your shirt off?
But then I'd be naked.
Well, you can keep your pants on.
But then I'd be naked.
Okay, that's fine. So they're just these little. They don't have wires coming off of them, right? They're just like little discs. And they say okay, well, if you could put this over the I forget the name of the aorta and the other one that comes out of your heart,
Vecna.
Ventricle?
ventricle, maybe.
It's a ventricle.
Yeah. So
I think those are.
Okay.
That is an aorta. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah. They say to put it over the main input tube, heart tube,
Puts
and
it
the
on his
main
forehead.
output heart tube.
All right. Do you mind if Brian?
Okay.
All right. It has to be a skin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go under your shirt, but I'm not gonna take your shirt off. Is that okay?
Oh shoot. Okay. We have to drop the. So you realize Brian's super suit is not a suit.
It's his skin.
Right. Hey, remember that
His
conversation
street clothes
that we
are
had?
his clothes.
Yeah. His street clothes are so
So when you see him in his super suit, he's naked.
That's why he's never in his super suit. It just pokes out.
So fucking delighted right now.
I am trying to wrap my brain around this, and I'm failing so epically. So basically what we're saying here is that I won't be able to attach these to your skin.
Oh, the super suit is my skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazingly, I think Kit would be the only one who is, like, who knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd be able to tell pretty quickly.
Oh
like,
my god,
oh,
I
this
get
is
it.
Skin.
So like the thing that is like the green streak
Yeah.
costume
Yes.
like, is actually your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So there's no seam where the mask is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he has a mask
Don't
that
you
he
have
can pull
like
up,
a
but-
t-shirt on over your
Yes.
super suit though? Yeah, yeah.
I
yeah.
always wear plain street clothing like over my quote
Yes.
unquote super
Now
suit.
I get it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm just gonna go
Part works
under
so bad.
your. I'm not gonna go under your super suit.
Oh, you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Just under your
Under
shirt.
my shirt.
Yes. Okay, we've got it. Is that good?
Yep.
Great. And Kit will go
Yep.
in and yeah.
Okay.
I promise it's fine.
Okay. So yeah, there's a couple more that you're supposed to hook up that are less challenging to sort out. Get the temples
Yeah.
and a couple other things, and then interestingly, Kit, there are two that go on either side, right near the brainstem.
Like just the barest moment of hesitation, and then also puts those on.
Okay, because Rose is like kind of showing you the diagram that they have of like, okay, yeah, and then two right here.
Right,
I know this is unstandard. This is kind of the new model that we're working with, and
Yeah.
they
What
say they want to have
what
that
made
there.
you
So.
determine that for all these different points? Is there?
Oh, well, this is a prototype that Dr. Light put up on the internet, and we, manufactured it. We had some resources, so
Got it.
we just wanted to see how well it worked. It really was pinpoint on me. Klaus did it. Cook. It was really pretty like illustrative.
Great. Awesome.
Okay, so yeah, they fire up their little tablet thing, and there's a whole like it's actually kind of what you saw the other day, Kit, with the woman in the crash. There's like all these versions of Brian on the screen of like vasculature, nervous system, skeletal, like
Yeah.
all these versions that are boop, 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 pulled up there. Brian, you don't feel anything. There's no like unpleasant.
Have we started yet?
Yes, yeah, I'm just getting a diagnostic here. Okay, now, Brian, our understanding is that you are very tough and strong, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you jump as high as you can, please? And you
Yeah,
go maximum effort. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and roll your body dice.
Okay.
This is so fun.
Yes.
Now the range on you have 7 dice.
I have 8 body dice total. 7 regular,
Okay.
1 wiggle.
Is so the range on an 8 die power. Normally, body doesn't have range, but
Yeah.
in this case it
Yeah.
will. Is 1,200 yards.
Okay.
That's over a kilometer.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and roll your dice. Just
Okay.
you can't fail because you have a wiggle die.
Yeah.
But I just want to see what it comes out to. Just leap over a kilometer
Right.
straight
Right.
up.
Right. Wow.
Here we go. And then my wiggle die I will apply to, let's see, I've got 2 6s. I have 3 6s.
Okay, great. Anything higher than that?
It's the devil's roll.
I have a 10 and a 7.
Yeah, so making a pair of 10s is better.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
you don't need to do it quickly.
Oh, got it. We
Yeah.
want height. Okay, yeah.
Height is almost always
Then I'll
preferable
set.
until we're like in a race in combat.
Got it.
So
Pair of 10s.
yeah, so just beautiful, perfect jump. You come back down, perfect superhero landing. There's just dust, this little crater of like, I think you can reach terminal velocity at 1,000 yards, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah.
wham. Did we decide you're not particularly heavy though, right? You're like
No,
I
not
don't know,
necessarily.
250
Yeah.
pounds or
I'm
something.
like a built guy,
Yeah,
but I'm not
yeah.
like crazy. I don't have super density.
Oh, thank you. Chat's checking terminal velocity for us.
Thank you. Love you, chat. Thank you.
Always. So, yeah, you come back. There's a little bit of a crater made there in your landing. I don't know if any of you have ever really, like, grasped the fact of how strong Brian is.
Yeah.
Um,
Just imagine us all looking up. Wow, I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Like I think a kilometer away, maybe you can't even see him in the sky.
I literally
like-
team rocket into
Yeah.
a blip into the sky.
Just like a dude in the
Yeah.
air, a kilometer up.
I'll just wait awkwardly for him to fall back down.
Get out of the way.
Okay, yeah, 450 yards is enough to reach terminal velocity. So yeah, you hit the ground as fast as anybody can. There's no way that's going to do damage to you, so it's fine. But you do fail at flying, though, which is the challenge of throwing yourself at the earth and missing, as Douglas Adams teaches
Damn.
us.
I directly hit the earth.
Yeah,
Just kind of have to,
Next
if
time.
you forget about gravity, gravity will forget about you.
yeah, just ignore each other like a good, healthy relationship.
Don't follow us for relationship tips.
What are you talking
That's
about?
not why you're here.
We're doing so well.
Yeah, they also have you go through a series of, can you tear down one of these trees? That sort of thing of like, just like hork it up out of the ground.
Can it be like just Brian doesn't want to uproot a
You can
living
plant it
tree.
back down. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Or did you have something else you
Can it
wanted
be
to
like a embedded metal and cement or
or
something?
a boulder or
Yeah, yeah,
something?
yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, they find it. There's a big old rock at the edge of the woods. You're like, how about this?
Okay.
Hork. Like, and we're at, you can lift a little over 3 tons
Okay.
without too much trouble. So yeah, a great big rock.
I'm like,
seems-
which one? This one?
Yeah. So yeah, they have you do that a little bit. And then they ask if you've been shot before.
Many times.
Okay. Have any of them ever made an impact? Any
It made me
firearms?
realize I hate guns.
Well, we're in the same boat actually. We have some test firearms here. Would you mind if we shot you?
Only if one of my friends does it.
Okay, that's fine. Do any of you have experience with firearms?
Do you want to be my friend?
I hope you'll think of me as this is Rose, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, and Atticus is just watching and is interested, right? He's not like bored, but he's watching. Also, Enge, Rose just asked if anyone is familiar with handling firearms.
Oh yeah.
But Rose's answer to your question, Brian, is I hope you'll think of me as your friend, whether you end up working here or not. I really admire what you do for Green Lake.
All right,
Brian.
then anyone here can fire a gun at me.
Okay.
Wait, I've always wanted to do this.
Okay. Well, I figure in your case, we should probably just go ahead and start with a 50 caliber. There's not going to be much point to anything else. So, would anyone like to do the honors? Okay. Great. And they have a 50 caliber handgun that they hand you.
Sapna looks slightly jealous.
Yeah. Yeah. I do
like
love a
quietly.
scene of, though, I want to make a note about Chainsaw taking the gun and immediately like checking the slide.
That was exactly what I was just doing. I was like,
yeah, very professionally like handling this firearm safely, making sure it's not loaded, and then loading it and exercising
Weapon.
safety. Yeah. And
Right.
then they ask everyone to stand back because if it ricochets or something, and it's also loud and yeah.
Yeah.
That's
ready, Brian?
I'm ready.
You're not gonna hold this against me?
Wait.
Okay.
Can I have a juice box?
Yeah, I'll have Cook bring some out for us.
Then I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, and you just like
Kids, don't do this at home.
Yeah. There's like birds ejected from the trees,
Yeah.
just all kinds of loud noise echoing across the lake and all this. The result is none. Yeah,
tickle.
just dunk, 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 dunk.
No,
You can
not the
feel the
armpit.
impact a little, like you know that you've been shot. Your shirt, unfortunately, is damaged. But yeah, you're, no effect whatsoever.
Okay.
And Rose is like excitedly taking notes on the tablet there. All right. Well, we have some heavier caliber weapons and explosives, but
You got a bazooka?
but it could end up damaging. Well, it will damage your clothes. Would you want to? I mean, you seemed uncomfortable with disrobing, and I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
This is what this
Yeah.
moment looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
Very excited. Amazing.
We were just showing a picture of Chainsaw with a pistol, and it's
A great
amazing.
big
So
pistol.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big old gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm among friends and it stays here, then I suppose that's a price I'm willing to pay.
Okay. Or I mean, if you'd like, you could step into the tree line, and
But that would harm the trees.
well, if you hold the grenade, for instance, against in your hands, that probably would be.
oh, hot potato. Yes, I've played that.
Rose's eyes get a little big. Like, yeah, yes, yeah.
I mean, hot potato. Is it hot potato? Usually, you're not the one holding it.
Not the way Brian plays.
That's not
I
how
got
we
the hot
play.
potato.
I gotta have hot
Hot potato.
Brian was told to hold on to the hot potato.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just thinking about the future.
People constantly
Brian,
throw
hot potato.
Yep. Okay. So you take a
Yep.
grenade up
Yep.
into the woods, disrobe,
Yep.
pull the pin. There's a little muffled like boom.
Yeah.
It's you all hear like.
Yep.
I don't think you would even have trouble holding on to that level of explosion.
Not
It
really.
uses up a little bit of your
I think
penetration.
it pops me up in the air a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, any explosion will trigger some of your penetration points.
Cool.
But because it automatically
Yeah, yeah,
has a
yeah.
penetration level.
Yep.
But it's not enough to overcome your power by
will mark
any stretch. So yeah, that's there's a couple other random things they have you do. Anything in particular you want to demonstrate? So you could get dressed and come back out of the
Yeah,
trees.
I get dressed and come back out, and there's like some smoke.
And anything you think they would want to like have Brian demonstrate?
Temperature?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They bring out a flamethrower.
Yep.
They have let's see. If you run real fast, oh no, but the green streak doesn't create a vortex when he runs. So I was trying to think if they could freeze the lake.
Cryo
Or like
gun.
or pressure?
Yeah, it's a pretty deep lake. Do you need to breathe?
I don't know.
I
Okay.
did expand your lung capacity when you jumped into the lake, but that doesn't mean you need to breathe.
Right.
You know, like that could
Yeah.
just be Kit being
So-
like, I'm worried.
Numerically, like the way the game rules are set up, your ability can adapt to whatever
Right.
situation you're in.
Right.
So you don't we, the audience, know that you probably
Like if I make the effort, I could probably go a while not breathing.
yeah, like hours and hours.
Yeah.
So what if at the end they're like, okay, I think we should probably move on and test someone else. Brian, would you mind waiting under the lake for as long as you can hold your breath?
Could I bring a tablet?
Yes, we have a waterproof.
Don't want to get bored.
Green Streak's like, yeah, I could grab you a waterproof tablet.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes a minute because they have to like pay for it at the store. It's like, oh my god,
Also
this
comes back
line.
Oh, the super suit has no pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually had to come back and get my credit card.
yeah. But yeah, within a few minutes, he's back and gives you a waterproof tablet. And,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll call you back up.
All right. Brian's just gonna play on a tablet in the water.
And Rose makes the point too of like, don't struggle to hold your breath, right? Just come back up when it's uncomfortable.
What do you mean hold my breath?
Well, you won't breathe while you're underwater.
Should I have been breathing this whole time?
I'm pretty sure. Rose looks at the tablet and was like, Kit, I'm not a doctor. Can you look at this? And they're pointing out this like respiratory system that is like technically in the green check mark, but there's no like cyclical like input output process.
I'm not oxygenating my blood, and
Right.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
but the blood
yeah.
is oxygenated.
Yeah, yeah.
And Rose is just confused, like, maybe I'm not reading this correctly.
No,
Does
that's right. Sometimes I do things just out of habit for Brian, but honestly, I've never seen anyone like
Okay.
him. So
Okay. Well, yeah. So
Brian starts dramatically breathing and like making a show of like heaving
pumping
his
your
chest.
lungs, like
Yeah.
I can breathe.
And then it's like doubly oxygenated.
yeah.
blood.
Like, oh God. Okay. Well, just we'll call you up in a few minutes, but just if you get uncomfortable, come back up. If you're cold or feel like you need to take a breath, or
How would I know?
I don't know. Rose is like not like annoyed, but
Yeah.
but
Dumped.
Yeah.
yeah, just like
I think Kit will play like, do you ever, Brian, you know, like when you're around Tony's and you start seeing someone walking around that might be a threat and you start getting that like weird
Ooh,
itchy
I don't
feeling.
like that.
When you start feeling something like that, come on up.
Okay.
Good?
I'll be watching on my webcam.
Yep.
yeah. Okay. Well, Kit, as long as I have you here, would you mind going next?
Great. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So now Rose isn't sure what to do. Just hands you the 6 sensors, like
And just like puts them
here
on.
you go. All right. So our understanding, you're listed as a biokinetic here. That's fine. Is there? So we don't want to hurt you, but is there a way that you would like to demonstrate your ability?
Sure. I thought about this a little bit. I can do things with my own body, but I feel like it's easiest to do it on other people to demonstrate, if that's all right. And looks over at Green Streak.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, you, from what I understand of your powers, you have to hold your breath in order to run, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It's not usually a problem. I can get almost everywhere
Sure.
within a couple minutes.
I'm not going to hurt you. Do you mind if I tap into you a little bit?
Okay, and he gestures for Rose to give him some of the sensors as well. And,
Yeah.
And he just like takes his shirt off. It's like,
Amazing.
Chainsaw's very happy about
just
that.
perfect musculature of a
Yes.
finely honed athlete.
Where's that saxophone noise coming?
Oh my god. It took off their shirt and all they got was a clarinet.
Slide flute.
You know what? You give some
Great.
credit.
They
There
do
was a-
look great, but
there
they
was a
just don't look
theremin
Green
playing.
Streak
Yeah.
great. Amazing.
All right, so yeah, he's just like totally unself-conscious and says, "Okay, hit me. What do you got?"
Kid is going to concentrate and do what they did for Brian and expand Green Streak's lung capacity.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I need to roll for that?
No,
All right.
you have wiggle die, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, let's roll for fun because you can't fail at
let's
it.
see how.
But let's see
How awesome can you
Oh,
be?
wait.
How are you under pressure?
I've got 3 8s.
Okay, is 8 your highest die?
8. Wait, no, 2 10s.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay. Great.
yeah.
Great. So yeah, you perfectly like double his breathing capacity.
Yeah.
And right away he's like, "Oh wow. Okay, hold on." And
Yeah, try it out.
he disappears.
Yeah.
And then, oh shoot, how long would it take to run around the world? What's the circumference of Earth?
Math break.
Do, 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 do,
24,000 miles.
do, do, do.
How long does it take to go 24,000 miles at Mach 5?
That's hard math for your phone.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it just gave me a link to
Yeah.
Mach to miles per hour webpage.
Yeah. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
I'm sure James will have it in a second. Here.
Yeah, faster than I can get it. This is fun stuff. I love this shit about like superhero stories,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
though. That's not what we wanted.
Space station.
5 miles per second, orbiting Earth about every 90 minutes.
Oh, okay. So it's still that's a very fast and takes 90 minutes to go around. So
Yeah.
all right. So he's not going to go around the world,
Okay.
but he does like
Comes back with a bunch of torpedoes.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Goes, comes back with a bunch of torpedoes, and like brings one torpedo, brings another torpedo, brings another, because he's like going as they make them. He's like, hey, can you make me like 20 of these? And then just by the time they're done making one.
Like every time they ring the bell, he's grabbed one.
Yeah, that's great.
And is is able to demonstrate like massively improved lung capacity. Now, so Rose says, okay, so we also understand you have some ability to repair your body. Is that something you'd be willing to demonstrate in any capacity?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. What injury are you willing to sustain?
I don't like working on heads, including my own. Anything other than that, I should... Kit pauses for like a long moment and then seems to decide on a course of action of what to say, and then says, I don't like to operate off of a fluke of something happening or something that I can't reliably reproduce, so I'm going to tell you what I do understand about myself, and the more pain I'm in, the harder it can be to regenerate myself.
Okay. Are you able to manage your pain in different ways?
It's complicated because if you turn off what hurts, it's harder to understand what you need to repair.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay.
So I can repair a lot, but according to my current understanding of how I work, it gets harder the more it... I prefer to prevent rather than repair.
Okay.
But I can do it. So, I don't know. Any suggestions?
I mean, we could shoot you in the leg.
Oh, nope. Sapna's like, fuck you.
Rose is like not excited about that. Like they're just like trying to come up with ideas.
I don't know.
I'd be willing to get hurt if you can hurt me.
Is that we're not sure. You know, your power profile says that you're a telekinetic.
I mean, I've broken my hand before. You want to try that?
Yeah, okay. But it has to be on me, so
Go punch that tree.
I don't think I can break my hand by punching a tree, but...
Wait a minute, you can heal other people.
Yeah. I think that, but they were asking about, like...
No, they just need you to demonstrate your power.
Oh!
Yeah.
I thought they were asking about doing it to me.
You can heal someone else. They just weren't willing to, like, ask somebody else to get shot
Sure.
for your favor. Although, if you're able to shut down your power, did we set it as always on?
I don't think so. No, I have to like activate it
Yeah, okay.
specifically. Yeah.
Then, yeah, if you turn off your telekinesis, you can get hurt. It's just going to be like a Captain Hammer moment. Oh, this is what pain feels like. Oh, God.
Thank you. And, okay.
Want to break my arm?
I'm in the lake right now.
Oh, yeah.
Brian
yeah,
broke my
Brian's
arm,
in the
but
lake.
he's under the lake.
So,
He doesn't even know we have torpedoes up here.
Rose looks over at the, like, table with the gun on it. Is like,
Yeah, all right.
Oh, I've wanted to do this too.
well, Rose is like, didn't want to touch the gun. But, like, however you all want to work this out, it's up to you.
Wouldn't be the first time I got shot.
Something else shoot
You up
chainsaw,
for
that'll be
this?
fine.
All right.
Okay.
Because I
Great.
can do it myself if you're not up for it.
Just like, bang, shoot
But if
yourself
you
in the
wanna
arm,
do it,
yeah.
I'm
And then,
not
like,
gonna-
right as you, like, as you're going through this whole line.
Bam! Oh!
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's like a shot in the arm.
Yep.
Okay, so you shoot chainsaw in the arm. Fantastic. Ah!
Yeah.
You just see it go limp where it broke the bone. Like,
Yeah. Bonk. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That
So
wasn't satisfying.
Here
I
we
thought it
go.
would be.
let's actually hold on. Let's roll an attack. I want to see how much damage has to be healed.
Good point. Oh, I do have
What
the
kind of
heal
attack am
action
I
here.
rolling?
It is the
The range?
I mean, I don't have guns.
you don't have firearms. That's fine. Just roll coordination.
Oh.
You really can't miss. It's just like, how does it go?
Poorly?
Okay, what do we got?
1, 5, and a Nope, I have a pair of ones.
Hey,
that wasn't
okay.
a 7. My bad.
Hey, that's a pair.
I got a pair of ones.
Close your eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So you do 2 shock and 2 killing to your
My arm.
left arm. Okay.
Ouchies.
So then we didn't add engulf to your healing power, which
No.
means you have to heal a specific location. But you don't have to like call a shot with it. The difficulty is actually how much damage was done.
Right.
So there's only 4 damage that's been done. So you just have to roll a pair of 4s or better.
Got it.
With your wiggle die, that's impossible to fail.
Right.
Unless
Don't
all
say
your
that.
dice come up to
Don't
be 1, 2,
say
3.
that. Yeah. I have the healing ability here just for reference, and usually it's touch, but Kit's not a touch boy, so yeah, we've got 2 10s.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, very quickly you're able to like put that back together. The bone goes
I
back
think
together.
that like actually the moment that like it's like and then I do like your arm goes numb for a minute and then you look down and it's
So Kit,
Hey.
I need you to
Good
can
job.
I look at your character sheet, please?
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you to roll something. I don't want you to know what you're rolling.
Oh my god.
We roll 8 dice, please.
All right. Well,
This is not
see,
kind of a
I know
spoiler,
what
I
my
guess.
powers
I know, I
are.
was like,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The audience doesn't remember.
So around the Earth, at Mach 5, around 6 hours. Thank you, Veer.
Okay. Yeah, 24,000 miles. Yeah. Okay.
because Mach 5 is like 1 mile a second.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I guess.
Okay. 2 5s.
Okay. You, as you're working on the arm, a body is a whole unit, right? You can't just totally focus on one thing.
Right.
You're picking up, there's a couple little things where you're like, oh, that bone didn't heal right. What are some old injuries that you've had?
Knife wound.
Shrapnel.
Yeah, some shrapnel.
Okay.
Got I broke my wrist as a kid.
Well, and
which
if
is
we
never quite
established
set right.
you were, oh, wait. What were you before powers? IRS?
Mechanic.
Oh, mechanic, right. You probably got your hand caught in something.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think even without meaning to, there's a couple little things you just smooth
Yeah.
out, like, oh, that blood flow wasn't right.
Usually when they're like they do very intricate work, it's in a very quiet central environment. And yeah, it's a little harder just in like, oh, we're here. And it's like, oh, look at this. Yeah.
Gun just went
100%.
off and he's bleeding profusely.
Yeah, and would you? Yeah. So also your friend who you care about, I assume
Right.
you care about that Kit cares about.
Yes.
Chainsaw. And does Kit care what like Green Streak and Rose thinks of them?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Okay, so doing a good job is in there being the best at what you do.
Yes.
Let's say.
Very much so.
Okay. How many points do you have in Be the Best
That's a good
as a passion?
point. I have a sticky that's supposed to be, there we go. 4.
Okay, take 2 willpower if you have.
Sure.
It can't
I'll
go over your
take-
max.
I'm not close
Yeah,
to that.
recover
Don't worry
2
about
willpower.
that.
Okay.
But great, now I'm in a much better place, which
Okay.
makes me feel good.
It's like,
Were you-
can't go over your max.
Yeah.
Like, has been
Lol max. So yeah, you absolutely you find yourself in this zone of like just like, and then you're repairing all the sinew and everything specifically from the gunshot wound,
Yeah.
flushing out the like burn aspect of it, and like just perfectly rebuild that wound. But out of the corner of your perception, you can just feel this presence in the brainstem.
Yeah.
Right? Of like, it's just there, and it's like
There's that
hard,
nubbin.
hard not to like, like if you cut your tongue and you like, if I could just
Worrying it.
stop messing with it, it would heal up. It's hard not to mess with it.
Yeah.
So, do you mess with it?
Fuck. I think what happens is they're really trying not to. They don't actually like poke it the way that they did last time, but almost without meaning to, they like pump a little extra blood through it for like a second, and then they're like, fuck, and they reroute it again.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, so that would enhance your telekinetic ability. So I'm gonna have you lash out.
All right.
So here's what happens. You finish like as you're finishing healing, like that finally that little like don't poke it gets the better of you, and you just turn your attention to it. I'll just look. I'll
Yeah.
just look.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
send a
it's-
couple of platelets that way, and then
Right.
you don't realize what you've done.
Yeah. And so you're used to chainsaw. Your power extends a little bit out from your body, like you're wearing telekinesis basically, and you can punch stuff and like be bulletproof and all that because you have this envelope that you're in. So what happens though is you like fix that. That's great, and then you feel this like like you just got jabbed with adrenaline.
Yeah.
Adrenaline and Coke. Okay, and your hand whips out, and you feel your telekinesis slide, and you're like getting it around people, like oh god, don't hurt anyone, and it slices a tree, and I need you to roll to try to catch the tree so it doesn't land on anyone.
Okay. Athletics?
Yeah, Green Streak like rushes Rose out of the way of the tree. Probably can move multiple people, but I just want to see what you do.
Pair of sixes.
Nice.
Yep, that's a success. The tree didn't have to roll initiative, so it's.
But gonna fall no matter what.
But yeah, you very quickly reorient and get your telekinesis to this tree just kind of lands in your grip basically, just hovering over your head. You're like, where should I put this?
Fuck was that?
Rose is like, why didn't we have sensors on him?
They have their like hands up, and they're like, the hands are shaking slightly, and they say, "I'm so sorry. That won't happen again."
What did you do?
Your arm's healed.
Yeah, your arm feels great, actually. And that
Actually,
like,
my
your
rotator
wrist
cuff, I didn't
and your-
realize it's been bugging me for
Yeah.
a while, but what else did you do?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, I believe you.
Does anyone want to roll empathy to see if they're lying?
I feel like this one's like a gimme.
I
Yeah,
think you're.
it's up to you,
yeah,
Kit.
yeah. I don't even think you got to roll for this. I
Okay.
think Kit is like making eyes at you as they say nothing. Like, please.
Like, please don't say anything right
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Yeah, it's never done that before. Must just be really, really healed.
Okay.
That does not mean they have to drop it at all. I think that they can.
Can I have
sit
your
down.
character sheet, please?
Oh shit.
Oh, you're rolling
Am I
a new
getting a new
character. Yeah.
Chainsaw explodes. He turned inside out. And he exploded.
All right. So that ability has an extra hard die.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Nice.
Whoa. Everybody get healed.
I can also modify myself, not just healing. If that's like very quickly trying to change the subject.
Yeah, Rose is like looking over notes and and I think in the time that it took you to catch the tree, Green Streak also like moved you. Sapna, no? Well, I mean, he's very fast. Like,
Don't like when he puts when he puts me down, I'm like,
yeah, okay.
Like-
He's like, sorry. I thought a tree. Like, it just happened so quickly, right? So anyway, he
did you make?
moves you and Rose and he's like, sorry. I apologize. It wasn't time to ask first. I think in that, like, there's a little bit of awkwardness all around.
Yeah.
Rose is like, okay, yes, I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Well, anything that essentially could happen in a body, I can up it. So, I don't know. And they just like reach out an arm and then it begins growing. They're just trying to do something that gets like
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, they know you. They have you like grow your arms and get tall and like you can grow like I don't know. Well, I guess humans.
I think they can also enhance like muscle mass kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
just not permanent. Like they're not
Yeah.
able to. That's the reason that their body.
You have to
diet is
focus on
high.
it.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And as they do that, Chainsaw is just kind of like eyes stuck to them.
And I need you to roll a dice again
Ooh.
as you are changing your body around in various different ways.
I want to go home. I don't know if I got. Oh, okay. 3 7s, and that's That's the only match that I have.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you, in the course of altering things, causing your body to, grow and shift and change. I just remembered the book I saw as like a 12-year-old of what's happening to my body.
New and exciting changes.
Very different. So the yeah, you go through all that, but then I think for the first time you notice your own brainstem,
Yeah.
and you actually don't have to do anything to it this time.
Okay.
But do you?
I think right now they are scared enough as it is. They don't do anything to their
Sure.
own. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell too. Like, there's so much adrenaline in your system. I imagine you're probably trying to filter it a little bit. Of like, oh, I need to calm down. Like,
Yeah.
Um,
Trying to chill out a bit.
yep.
Actually, there's a good note there. They do not alter their own adrenaline.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not. They're conserving energy. So
Okay.
any kind of thing that would benefit their emotional state is going by the wayside right now.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think. I mean, I feel like that's enough.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. That is really helpful to see.
Yep.
Like go over and body check you.
Mhm.
like
Does that mean hug
like a
in Sapna?
like it's like
A little
Yeah.
like elbow. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's a Sapna hug.
Yeah.
That's special.
Yep.
Elbow strike.
Yeah.
Okay. And since I think it kind of looks like Sapna's comforting Kit, Rose is like, okay, well, Chainsaw, should we actually like get you censored up? Enge lifted his shirt up in the studio. Everybody.
That's a lot of hair.
And he was
Although I
already
did-
wearing sensors.
I can do that today. I have tape on. Damn it.
Oh well.
Happy Pride Month, yo.
Happy Pride. So the yeah, she gives you the sensors to put on and has you do
I
like
go, boulder that Brian pulled out of the ground.
yeah.
Check this out. And I just take off for it and I hit it full speed,
Yeah.
like trying to blow it to pieces.
Do the explosion thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's easy. You can set that thing off, no problem.
Yeah.
They probably have you do a couple laps around the lake. And Green Streak kind of jogs along to keep up with you. Like, hey, this is really fast. Well, you can't talk while you're running, but
But
He
he
can gesture.
yeah.
gives me the thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they check that a little bit. Let's roll your aura power, keeping in mind that it has been modified somehow.
Who did that?
And I would say I don't know if Chainsaw has cognitively assessed this change.
Yeah.
And so the hard die is just always a 10.
Right. So that means, well, I have a pair of 5s and a pair of 10s with the hard die, and then a wiggle die that I can add to that.
Okay, so you have
Wow.
to use the 10s, and making it a 3 10s doesn't really make a difference at that point. In the future, you can roll and say, I'm not using my hard dice, but you got to tell me before you roll.
Interesting. Neat.
Yeah, anybody with hard dice, you can choose that. Although most of you who have hard dice in a power, it's all hard dice, so that's a different thing.
Why would I not want to use hard dice?
Because you can hard dice force it to operate at maximum
It's
capacity.
always a 10.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Always max.
Yeah, it's a headshot. It's max damage. There's no pulling your punch in that
Yeah.
situation. So, which might be what you want, but if you want options, you have to tell me you're not using your hard die. Okay, so the testing goes fairly well. They are you're able to keep total control of what you're doing, but I think you can feel like you did hit it a little harder than you meant to.
Yeah.
Right? You're running. What's your total dice in the aura power now, including the hard die?
6 dice, 1 wiggle die, and 1 hard die.
So 8 dice. Yeah, so you're actually you're running at the same kind of speed that Brian can, although Brian has labeled his running speed as slower. You're moving it. You can move it like 1,200 miles an hour.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
yeah, that's about twice as fast as you were able to go earlier today. So actually, that's pretty fucking significant.
I could make a control check
That's
Yeah,
a big
to see if I
deal.
can actually, like,
Yeah,
because I'm used to going a certain amount, and do I accidentally, like, go too wide and, like, smash into something?
Like when
trees
you're
or
on the
something?
subway and it does that stop
the
fast
brake check.
when you're
Yeah.
expecting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Actually, that's a big deal.
What should I roll for that?
Let's roll your aura skill again. But we're gonna say this is without the hard die or the wiggle die.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you just roll this. That's not how normal penalty dice work, but it's just this situation's weird.
Yeah. 6. Pair of 4s.
Okay.
I was really excited. I thought I got a nothing.
Well, that's okay. It's
Wanted
a
to
low
plow into the
quality.
trees.
It's a low quality success, right? And it should be thought of that way. Of like, a pair of 4s is not as good a success as a pair of 10s. So, yeah, I think you get a little sloppy around one end of the because you take off thinking I'm gonna go full speed, and that first corner you're like, oh shit, and like
I'm gonna show them what I got.
there's this like
think
big
you-
furrow in the grass and
Like
yeah.
3 trees. Just...
yeah. Oh, and you broke the sound barrier,
Oh.
which you've not done before, right? Speed of sound, it's like 700. What is that? What's the speed of sound in miles per hour? Yeah, 767.
Oh, yeah.
So you were at 640 before, so this is the difference,
Right.
right? And you actually get that boom.
Sonic boom.
Yeah. And there's like a huge furrow cut in the grass, around that end of it, and you come back around, and when you get back, Greenstreak is grinning, but he says, "Oh man, Danny's gonna be mad."
And I just look over at Kit.
Kit is really interested in the diagrams on Rose's iPad that they do not need to look at because they
Sure.
can see them. But
Sure.
they're feigning interest.
Yep. Yeah, and Rose is kind of like sharing it with you, like, "Wow, this is incredible." Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah. You can also punch shit.
Well, that seems obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We should, well, actually, Sapna, if you don't mind, we'll have you go next. So I need to use the sensors to get an accurate reading. I can promise to not log it. If that's helpful, I'll just memorize the readings, but I can't do the readings with my brain.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I can let you delete it. Is that...
Let's do that.
Okay. So if you wouldn't mind, put these on, and then if you wouldn't mind, demonstrate telling Brian to come back up,
Sure.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
got
that
this
just
pile of
doesn't-
torpedoes here. He's gonna be so excited.
just at the start. Oh yeah, there's like a whole table full of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put them on and
Yeah. And just...
Ryan,
Yes?
come on up.
How am I hearing you?
The usual way?
Oh, with my ears. And Brian starts walking towards the shore.
Okay, so yeah, Ryan comes up out of the lake like swamp thing.
Just emerging from the lake.
Yeah. And Rose turns to you and says, okay, so we know you have some sonic powers. Have you broken apart rocks before?
Not that I remember. It's not really been. I don't really live in a rocky environment.
Sure. Well, I mean, do you want to take a shot with what's left of the boulder over there?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, well, give it all you got.
You sure?
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to get an accurate reading, so
Okay.
feel free. I mean, that's why we're out here, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I love the angsty teen that sometimes emerges from Sapna. It's so good.
Mhm.
In this case, I'll have 4 10s then.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Okay.
Damn.
You geometrically carved the rock.
Yeah. And also, like, without any thought, it's just like just like whatever this very casual gesture is. And yeah, what shape do you want to carve out of the stone?
I think it's a giant middle finger.
Oh, awesome. It's
Wow.
like, and then like tips over in the grass. It's just perfect. And Rose and Atticus are laughing like that's the greatest thing they've ever seen. Wow. And Atticus is like, I've never seen control like that. That is incredible. Usually sonic powers are just all over the place. What kind of range can you work with?
Oh, well, I mean... I know I can go 200 meters.
That's your attack can go 200 meters. Yes. Okay.
And
Um,
then... I can pull from... halfway across Seattle.
Wow. Okay. Can we test that real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So just you can find me if I run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So I'll run out and then
Just say my name.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And he does. He just like jets off into the woods, and you can hear him. He goes like a kilometer, 2 kilometers. Out to around your maximum range. Now, were you? I couldn't tell you, Pooja, if you were wanting to like hide the extent of your powers a little bit, or if you're demonstrating the full
I think she's like,
capacity.
there's a seduction in being able to go all out,
Okay.
Yeah.
knowing that at the end of this, I'm gonna delete all the shit,
Yep.
so no one else will have to know.
Mm.
And in this case, like, I mean, this little like utopia situation that they have made here, I don't necessarily believe in it, but also I don't not believe in it.
Mhm.
Seductive indeed.
So yeah,
Love that.
Okay.
like knowing that at least this time nobody's gonna get hurt
Okay.
beyond what she wants to do.
Okay. So I'm gonna, in the context of our game, I'm gonna say most of you fell within the like 5s range. I think is what we had talked about
Yes.
while we were making our characters. Okay. So in the course of this testing, is there anything else you want to do to demonstrate or stuff that your powers can do?
I think it'll just be funny to like, it's like make everyone sound like everyone else.
Oh, sure. Do like helium voice, but actually just swap in people's voices. Oh yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
So yeah. All right.
Like, cause it's just I feel like that one's more like a showing off of the skill demonstration
Yeah.
rather than necessarily like range or whatever. But it's like also it's hilarious.
Sure. When he gets back, Green Streak asks, have you ever tried to, can you use it to move yourself?
What?
Oh, I knew there was a guy back east who could like push himself off the ground with sound waves.
I've never tried.
Okay. I mean, do you want to? Or, I mean, you don't have to. I just thought it was something I'd heard about. I know everyone's powers manifest differently, so.
Like, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It like mentally Sapna's like, that could be really fucking useful.
At that,
Okay.
I think Kit does immediately like train a focus on Sapna in case using sonic waves on herself hurts herself a lot.
Sure.
So yeah.
So you're gonna tune into her like physical.
Yeah, Kit isn't connected in, as it were. It's more of that MRI of like, if you look at someone, Kit can accidentally just see, but isn't actively like poking. yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't a pointed question or anything.
Listen.
I don't know. Everyone seems so suspicious of me today.
I can't imagine why. So yeah, like, I guess trying to remember back to high school science. Oh, so it's just like compression waves, like a giant pogo stick. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, if you can create a sort of a continuous downforce, you may be able to launch yourself into the air. If it doesn't work, that's okay, but we'll back up and give you the field and, give it a shot. Kind of look at your character sheet real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so technically your character sheet doesn't have this yet, but if it's something you want to develop, we can preface it now, if you want.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I want to. I want to
okay.
be a giant. Like, I want to be the sound pogo. Yes.
Okay, so this will be a thing that you technically can't do super well yet. So I'm going to have you roll with 2 penalty dice. So take your hard dice out first.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have 1 or 2 hard die?
2.
Okay, so
I
just,
mean, this is Sonic Boom, or is this Ventrilo? I guess.
no, this is
Fine.
boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then.
Yeah,
I have
Ventrilo is
2.
just listen and project. Boom, I think, is what's required to like. Well, we're going to add a useful quality to it when you have enough points.
Sweet.
And then we can buy them up separately until they're the same amount, and then we can lump it into the same power.
Awesome. So yeah. So, 2 7s.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 6s because if there's anything that my dice are good for, it's only rolling doubles.
Multi-action.
Well,
Yeah.
take a thread, which is nothing. You launch yourself into the air. How many dice after the penalty are in this power?
5.
So 5 dice. Yeah, you get about 150 yards in the air. Woo! Right? So it's a football field and a half. And
The only measurements I understand.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I thought you had said so, so I wanted to
No,
like.
this is just amazing to me. It's like it is literally the only like distance
So
measurements I
helpful.
really understand.
Yeah. So yeah, your initial burst like just throws you up in the air, and you're a little like there's nothing propelling you, right? You just like just throw yourself up. So I'm gonna have you roll again to see if we can establish some kind of controlled flight. And normally I would not have you roll every step of this, but you're doing something really new and radical. So
And also,
This is
like, I
neat.
get up and I'm like, oh, fuck, I should have thought about this harder.
yeah, you're like 150 meters in the air. Time to think about how to do this.
2 5s.
Okay, so not
roll.
great, but I think you're finding like, okay, I can push myself in a direction, but you don't have like nice controlled sustained flight, right? So did you watch My Hero Academia?
Yeah.
So you know what's the exploding hands kid?
Oh, if you want names, it's not happening.
Oh, okay, but you know who I'm talking about, right? His like main rival who's
Yeah.
like giving him so much trouble all the time. He like kaboom, like explodes to propel himself. It's like that.
Yeah.
You know, so you're you're kind of scooting around in the sky a little bit, figuring out like cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm starting to get there's like birds squawking and taking off all over the place.
Sneaky up it's not.
It's almost like Iron Man's repulsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he's like first trying to figure out how to like, oh, okay, we can fly. Yeah. Fortunately, you were outdoors when you did the whoom.
Yeah, no kidding.
More and more seeing the appeal of large open area.
Yeah, because as of right now, you can't go less than 150 yards on an impulse, right? So as you're coming back down, you can kind of like slow, and then you have to
Stagger.
fall the last few meters of like, or somebody can catch
Ryan's
you.
gonna like have arms open and just be
Yeah.
like,
Are you willing to be caught, or
Nope.
what's your plan for
Nope.
coming back
Out
down?
of the way.
No plans.
Okay,
No plans, just pride.
okay.
Roll
so then,
to avoid Brian.
Wait. So what I want, it's pretty easy to avoid Brian because he doesn't move
Yeah.
very fast. You've
Yeah.
told me. He
Yeah.
can move fast if you, the player, decide that. But
No.
okay.
This is more like if Sapna wants to kind
Right.
of thing.
Okay. So Sapna,
Brian
I'm
knows
actually
better.
gonna have you roll. I am gonna roll.
I love it. I mean, seriously, this is one of those major, like, no plans, only pride. There is only pride in this body.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll an attack by the ground. I'm gonna roll 5 dice,
Oh God.
and we're gonna see what happens.
Just want everyone to have better superpowers by the end of this episode, don't you?
Oh no.
It's like chewing fingernails going,
The
I can
ground
help.
is
I
critically
can't
hit.
do this again.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna take 2 shock and 2 killing to your. Okay, when you all look at the silhouette, is this the left arm or the right arm?
I mean, the one, that
The
says
one on the
left
right
arm.
is the left arm.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's not labeled.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, ours is
Oh.
labeled.
Ours have
Oh, yeah.
labels.
So is this right
left
arm?
arm.
Yeah,
That's
that's
left
left
arm. Okay, that's what I wanted it to be.
Yes.
It's
But-
like you're looking at the silhouette head, like face
Head on.
Face to face.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so I got a pair of 4s, which means your left side is 2 shock, 2 killing, which is not doesn't completely disable that arm, but it is very bad. It's like, let's say, dislocated. Right? As you come back down, you're like, do the thing no one should do when they fall, like stick your hand straight out and like pop. And you I think, Kit, you hear the dislocation happen because you were trying to pay attention.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know that noise. That's
Yeah, Kit
that
just says,
rotator cuff
"Fuck,"
just went on
and-
vacation.
Yeah.
There is like a deep, like, scream that, like, no one hears.
Yeah.
Because once again,
You
no plan,
Swallow
only
it.
pride.
Yeah. Okay. So the very first thing that happens is Green Streak is kneeling next to you. He's like, "Are you okay? What do you need? What can I get for you?" As everyone else is making their way over here.
Hey. Arms kind of fucks a little bit.
Okay.
It's fine. It'll be fine. I'll walk it off.
Kit like emerges from behind Green Streak and is like, it's fine, I got it.
Okay. Yeah. Green Streak gets up and kind of backs away.
Yeah.
How quick do you get over there?
I stroll over. She's going to be fine.
Okay.
Like, there's just a
Brian?
slight, like,
Brian just like at the
like-
ready, like
Good job, kiddo.
yeah. Brian knows better than to actively help
Yeah.
Sapna
Okay,
until he's
yeah.
asked to.
Rose
does
is
a
walking
quick
over
check-in,
there,
yeah.
but Rose is like, "Oh my god!" It's just like looking at this data, but walking over there a little more slowly.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I think part of it is like, I'm gonna take a couple of the sensors off at this one.
Okay.
Like, oh, fuck this now.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take them all off.
Like this.
Yeah, I think they're all easy to reach with one hand.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go for it.
2, 3 10s. Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, roll 8 dice, please. Oh. You knew it was gonna
Why were we
happen.
put on this earth? Just to suffer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I did 8. Oh no.
No matches.
I have matches. 3s. 2 3s.
Okay, so I'm envisioning these rolls as like your self-control roll.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay.
Mhm. We're here in
So
the same place. I don't want to be here, but we're here.
so a pair of 3s to me sounds like pretty low control,
It's low.
but not a loss of control.
Not a loss.
So what is it about the nodule at the brainstem that gets your attention in this case?
I don't think it's actually the nodule itself.
Okay.
If you'll go on this journey
Sure.
with me. I think it's that when Kit is a little bit of a simp, they have a little bit less ability to handle themselves
To, like,
when they're
be cool.
using their powers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and so they have this adrenaline that's still coursing through them that they've been trying to regulate through like techniques that they do know because they were a trans kid growing up before they got their powers. They know
Sure.
anxiety, and they're trying to handle that. They are worried about Sapna. They
And
think
Sapna was
Sapna's very
injured in
pretty.
an uncontrolled accident.
Yes,
you know?
yes. That they were dialed in enough to be able to feel. And so it's just all of that together is just once you're trying to not think about pink elephants, it's just there every time.
Yeah.
You know?
I love
Yeah.
that. Maybe a component was like you're also trying to provide some endorphin kind of like painkiller
Yeah,
effect,
for
that
sure.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so as
And I love the drama.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So Sapna, you feel your arm like the bone sockets back into place, right? You feel the muscles like knit back together. I just reread Gideon, by the way. This is like so much like gooey grossness in it. I love it. But yeah, you feel all that go back together, and you feel this like artificial flood, like somebody just like push the button on your endorphins, like. But in that moment, your vision blacks out a little bit, and suddenly you can hear out to Seattle and beyond, and Spokane, right? And you know what you can hear because you can hear it all. It's just, unfortunately, you can hear all of it at the same time, and up through like British Columbia, down, I don't know how many miles that is. It's a lot, like 400 or 500 miles, right? Which I think is new for you. And it is a lot.
Yeah.
How do you react to that?
I think it's been a long time since Sapna hasn't had control over that filter.
Mhm.
Like, it's become an automatic thing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, hearing even half of Seattle would be overwhelming, and she would have, like, completely lost her shit
Sure.
a long time ago.
Yeah, even like a telepath who has to learn how to shut it out, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. But
So,
you can
like-
even hear like car horns and, you know, dogs barking and
Them
all.
shooting the new Deadpool.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think at that point, it's just like, I curl up into a ball, and I'm kind of like, my head is between my knees, like with my hands over my ears.
Okay.
mm-hmm. Fuck.
There's a little hyperventilation going on.
Okay. Sapna, I'm going to ask you to roll your base will attribute, which is kind of like a resistance roll. Or no, stability check.
Pair of fives.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's great.
I mean,
You-
if I need to if I need to make a stability against 3 simultaneous things, that would be cool. I could do that.
Oh, you have 3 matches?
So many matches in
Yeah,
there.
okay, you carve out Seattle and Spokane and Victoria, and, you know,
And I'm left with forks, which sucks.
yeah, you're left with a lot of small towns and car noise and animals in the woods. I think it actually,
You're
like,
say it out loud. You're like, what?
focusing on the animals is maybe a little bit helpful because they're less, like, obnoxiously noisy. But, yeah, you manage to control that. And actually, I like the suggestion in chat. I think you enforce a cone of silence because you did succeed at the roll, right? You just, and so Kit, who's right next to her, is anyone else like right next to her?
Brian's like a puppy just waiting to have permission to help.
Yeah, okay, but a few steps away probably.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I'm right behind the
or maybe the
first
other
aid team.
side of,
Yeah.
like you and Kit are flanking, so I think, yeah. So the 3 of you are just, and for the 2 of you, I think you've been in Cone of Silence before, but you've never been the like target of Cone of Silence, and it is the most deadened. I don't know if you personally have been in a situation where you literally cannot hear anything, but it's like
It's panic
you
inducing.
can't hear your own breath moving through your body or your
Yeah.
heartbeat,
Yeah.
right? There's no
What
sound.
about my tinnitus?
No, that's
No.
gone too.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, there's a moment that is almost suffocating silence as Sapna is getting it together. How long should that last, Sapna?
I think, like, I mean, that wasn't a great success. I think it's a bit. It's like a few seconds
Yeah.
at least. Like,
Half a minute.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think once it drops, if Sapna was okay with it, Kit would have had a hand on her already. But if she's not, then they wouldn't have done that.
I mean, although Sapna is not necessarily great with, you are part of my bubble.
Yeah.
You are part of my pod of people.
Who can be touchy feely.
Pod people.
Just kind of like has that hand on you, and then once the cone of silence finally drops, like takes a little bit of a shaky breath and says, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine.
Can I have your character sheet, please?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that landing maybe didn't look as cool as I hoped it would. But
It did not.
shut it!
Just kind of squeezes your shoulder a bit now that they've made sure you're okay, and then stands up. I'll wait until Jason is done writing so that I'm not springing things on him.
Nah, you looked great. You looked fine. So,
Okay.
Very cool.
So this is medium helpful to you. I'll explain it a little bit. So I don't want to interrupt the
Yeah.
scene.
Like-
Stands and looks at Rose and Greenstreak and says, "I'm sorry. I think you're doing a really great thing here, but I can't be part of your group. I'm really sorry." And then just walks towards the lodge.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah, and they don't say anything to you.
Yeah.
They just let you leave. They don't chase you or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Okay.
Kit, wait up.
Yeah. What?
Hey, what's going on with you?
I need you to not ask me that question right now.
All right. You know, I love you, so I'll give you a pass. But something happened today, and let's talk about it another time. Hey, we love you, all right?
Yeah.
You belong here. You belong with us. You belong anywhere you want to be. So you are the best at this, you know that? Never seen anything like it. My 20 years.
I can't use this anymore.
No.
I can't. I'll talk to y'all, and I'll talk to y'all tonight.
All right.
And he goes inside.
I walk back.
Hey, Brian, torpedoes.
What torpedoes? They've already been eaten.
Are there more?
Yeah, I wanted one.
Okay, so the three of you with Rose and Atticus standing by the lake. Rose holds the tablet out and says, "Okay, Sapna, if you want, let me finish scrolling through this. Okay, if you want to manage the delete process."
Sure. That's like scrolling through. I was like, I wonder what any of this means.
Well, the thing that would catch your eye that there's like a bunch of it is stuff you don't understand, but then like at one corner there's like the standard format of how to report powers and abilities, and it's been 20 years. People figured out how to document this stuff. And the thing that jumps out at you the most is the 7.28
Whoa.
next to your name. That is like, that can't be right.
It's a whole load of shit anyway. Delete.
Okay. Yeah. They take the tablet back and they say, okay, so your public records have you all ranked in the 5s. Just so you know, you're all registering over 7. And that is remarkable. Also, your friend Kit is almost an 8. So you should probably let them know that they should probably do some extra training.
Yeah.
And this is Atticus, right? He's like, look, this is a really difficult place to be in life. 7s, 8s, like if I'm right, and what I'm looking at right now is that all of you have improved already.
Yeah.
Most people don't get tested again because they don't need to. But you all have come up 20%. That's huge. That kind of advance isn't documented. The few people who agree with me say they've documented half a point of increase, not 2 points. So that's pretty dramatic. And I hope we can find a way to work together, whether we have to work out some kind of arrangement, like whatever arrangement. Look, I know the impact you all have had on Green Lake. Everyone there has good things to say about you and some other things. He like looks at Sapna with a smile. But like you're my kind of people, I can tell. And I would like to work with you. And I will take you in whatever version I can get. So if that means consultants, if that means staying on here full time, if that means we find some other kind of arrangement, you tell me and I will make it work. And I'm talking about full pay, health insurance, everything that I can offer you. Any sort of like competitive contract you want to talk about. There are a lot of examples of supers contracts out there. I've been doing this on my own long enough. I've had a lot of, I've been able to generate some income from doing this, and I want to pass that along. Right? I don't want to do this by myself.
I'll do it, chimes Brian.
Okay,
One condition.
name it.
Find a way so that I can be here and in Green Lake so that I don't ever have to miss out.
Okay, that's what I want to look into with Dr. Light. So let me check in with him. We'll, you can, are you okay staying the night tonight?
I'll need to be back in Green Lake tomorrow.
Okay, we'll get you home in the morning and we'll figure it out from there.
Before morning.
Oh, I see. Okay. Whenever you need to get there, you let me know.
It's very important that I'm at the Overwatch to make sure the sun comes up.
I see. And it's clear Greenstreak does not understand the sentence that just came out of Brian's mouth. But it's just like,
Brian's very intense about
and
this.
he's just taking it literally like, okay,
Sure.
I can make that happen. If you don't mind riding on my back.
Green Lake deserves more heroes, and if I can be a better one, and I believe you can help me with that, then I think this is the best choice.
Okay.
We can help people improve. I'm all for it.
Great. Okay. Sapna, you don't have to decide right now, but do you have any first impressions?
I mean, let me think about it.
Of course. Of course. You name the format. I don't want to miss out on working with you all. And please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you with Kit. If they need anything, let me know. Let Rose know. Chef, anybody, right? Like, let us know if there's literally anything we can do to help. I feel responsible that they had a traumatic experience here today, and that's not how it should be. So,
Good.
Yeah.
okay. So, I'll leave you to have your conversations. I'm in the house if you need anything. You've got your rooms. Sapna's the only listening device in the house, so I promise that's not how we do things here. So
Brian's gonna ask Rose, what is his actual number read? Like, he wants to know how close is he to being the next category and where he needs to improve.
sure. It's a little hard to quantify exactly where and what to improve, but she has you at 7.88. Which, and now that they read that out, they're like, wait, that's not what it said a minute. What? Okay, well, anyway, yeah, I have it at 7.88.
Okay.
And anytime you want to get rechecked, I'm happy to do follow-up.
Next week.
Okay.
Love that.
I'll come into Green Lake and we'll get you sorted out. Okay. Well, I think that is also a good place to game down for today.
Ooh.
So, thank you everyone for joining us for episode 4 of Pinnacles here on Happy Jacks RPG. You can catch up on previous episodes at happyjacks.org/pinnacles. There's a YouTube feed. There's a podcast feed if you want to grab it there. Takes a couple days to get there, but it's there. And that's where you can find us. Or you can go to happyjacks.org/shows to see anything and everything we've ever done at Happy Jacks. It's a lot. And that is... What's that?
It is a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot of material on there. I don't know. I lost my old
I was
sheet.
15 when we started this podcast. Not really.
I was 84. It's done me good.
Now you are infinite.
I have the Benjamin Buttons disease, so I'm regressing.
Reason we can do this, there's 2 main things that let us do these shows for y'all. Our chat mods let us do it live. Live or later are your only 2 options to watch the show, and without them we could only do it for you later. So it's nice to have both. It's actually, like, for me personally, I know in my heart I am an entertainer. I am a person who thrives on that feedback and entertaining somebody in real time. I love that. I know this about myself, I can be honest. And
Jason, this is an intervention.
too late. I know what I am, and I am what I know. So our chat mods make this possible. Thank you so much, James V, everybody who mods for us. And similarly, our Patreons let us get to do this without ads and everything else that can kind of gum up the works sometimes. So thank you for everyone who's able to contribute to that. There's no pressure to do so, but if you can, it really helps out. Like Kimi has put so much into making this channel exist.
Yeah.
So let's go around and say our goodbyes.
Well, I am Pooja, and you can find me on the internet as Forgotten Saves. And, you know, if you follow my Instagram, you can see lots and lots of kitty pictures.
Yay!
Salvador's my hero. Ears
tiny
for days.
So
Such
cute.
big ears.
Hi, everybody. I have been and currently am Sarah, and you can find me on the internet pretty much everywhere. Sarah is Coffee. I promise my characters aren't always in these scrapes, but, well, I would promise that, but I'd be lying. So, yeah.
Give the people what they want.
Hi, everybody. I am Joe. You can find me on the Fractured Peaks of Sanctuary if you play Diablo 4. I also occasionally will post in the Happy Jacks Discord minis because I paint custom Star Wars dioramas, and sometimes I share my work there. If that's fun for you, you can see some of that.
He's very good at this.
Also, you can find me at joe.kou@card.co, carrd.co.
And I'm Enge. You can find me on Twitter, pretty much that's it, at John Enge, JONENGE.
All right.
I post filmmaking stuff, TTRPG stuff, and cute things of raccoons.
Indeed. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Awesome for me.
And my name's Jason. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. I stream on my channel Wednesdays and Fridays for the most part. Probably some bonus stuff during the summer break, but you can come watch me play video games, I guess, is the thing that some people like to do. So come and hang out. That's super fun. And you can check out the game I made at probablyokgames.com, the home of the okayest games around. And
Probably.
yeah, hope to see you there. All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.